guys. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Good evening, Obodo fam. Greetings, salutations. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are joining us from. I salute you. I greet you with the love of God. Thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Hello. I see you all. Appreciate you for being here with us tonight. Today is the 10th of July. 2022 is exactly 1 month ago that I celebrated my 50th. Feels like yesterday, but it's already 1 month. Time goes very, very quickly. I hope you're all doing well. Happy weekend. I hear there is some people have 2 days holidays in Nigeria. I'm like, people are enjoying, no. I wish I can have 2 days. That would be nice. Enough time to badun, sleep, just relax and chill and do nothing. Welcome everyone. Bingpe, I see you. You're welcome. How are you doing, my darling? Welcome. Okay, so exactly a week ago. So give this video a thumbs up before we get into it because we have quite a lot. There is so much we're going to talk about today. So I'm just going to encourage and appeal to you to please thumbs up. It's so hot. I don't know how it is in your city, but London is boiling. I feel so hot. I think I'm overdressed. I should have worn something a little bit, more open. I'm really, really hot. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Please subscribe if you've not subscribed already. Give this video a thumbs up as you are coming in. I try to do salutation the first few minutes of the video so that we can get more people to join us before we start. At least we can get like 200 people before we start. 189 we have now, so one more person to make it 200 and we are good to go. So we did a show a week ago. I think it was a week ago we did a show. And we were talking about lack of eligible bachelors in the diaspora. That conversation was interesting. It was really, really interesting. A lot of people engaged with it. A lot of people wanted to be part of it. A lot of people wanted us to talk about it some more. And especially those who couldn't get into the studio. Some people couldn't get in because we had so many people contributing and people were contributing for a long time. Okay. So I'm doing a follow-up tonight, but I've been advised by my darling Iffy, who is here already with me. Iffy, I hope you're going to turn up your camera when you come in. I want your camera to be on tonight. If you are joining us today, try to put on your camera if you can, right? We're going to have a conversation tonight, which is a follow-up, like part 2 of that discussion, but with a twist. So we're talking about lack of eligible bachelors in the diaspora, but we're also going to be talking about we're addressing the issue of insecurity and why some brothers feel insecure or intimidated by ambitious women, women who are hardworking, successful women. Okay. But if he has advised me that I should play the devil's advocate, and I'm taking that on board. So I'm going to be playing the devil's advocate tonight. All right. So I'm playing it by the ear. I'm telling you guys, there's no show I've ever done that I've changed the topic as much as this one. I kept changing it. I'll change it again. I mean, it feels like there was no single description that could, just in few words explain what my intent or what I intend to do tonight or what we are going to discussion we're going to have tonight. It's just very broad. So I struggled to title it, but we are here now. So we just wing it like that, right? So we are talking about insecure men. We are talking about lack of eligible bachelors in the diaspora. And apparently, what I'm learning now very quickly, because when we talk about lack of eligible bachelors, people always think it's only bachelors it's only men that are not available. Actually, a lot of brothers are looking for eligible sisters as well to marry. You cannot believe it. I'm telling you, since that Sunday that we had the show, the number of brothers that have said they are looking for somebody, I cannot believe it. 5 people have reached out to me for Bingpe alone that want to marry Bingpe. And let me bet only you, 5 brothers wants to marry you. Because, I mean, because I said that, my husband fell in love with Bingpe, and he's meeting with her and he really likes her. She's very homely. She's a wife material. Let me put it that way. So people were like, "Oh, Auntie B, introduce me to Bingpe. Introduce me to Bingpe." I was like, any suru, relax, chillax. Anyway, the point is that there are men who are eligible and they are looking. And there are women also who are eligible and they are looking. The problem is how to connect. I feel like that's where the problem, because whenever we talk about this, people always say, all these women that are looking for husband. There are so many women that are looking for husband. Yes, but there are also many men that are looking because they just don't want to settle. They don't want Nigeria to marry. So I have a brother who is in Germany. He's an Obodo farm. He's looking. Okay, in London here, in the UK, I have 2 brothers here now who are also, I know they are really looking. And of course, in the US, I also got someone that was saying that, oh, I'm interested. So I think the issue is not that they are not eligible, or, people are eligible. It depends on what you are looking for, but people are not meeting. That's mainly the problem. We're also going to look at the issue of women, assertive women, all these assertive women. Somebody advised us in the last show, my people over the farm, please welcome Iffy. That is Dr. Iffy. She was here last week. You guys heard from her very, very strongly. She's an assertive woman. I've invited her to this show because I want us to talk. I don't just want to do the talking. So if you feel like you're an assertive man or woman out there, or if you have something to say, I want it to be like last week. Let's have like a panel discussion, not me alone doing a monologue. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so much, Dr. Iffy, for joining us tonight.
Hey, Auntie B, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Let me put this on. I'm forgetting that I cannot hear properly without this. It usually messes up my hair, so I don't like putting it on.
I can imagine. Well, I wear headsets all the time.
Yeah, I don't like wearing it because once I wear it, my hair will be all over the place. Yeah, I'm so hot. I'm sweating.
Is it that hot out there, like in the UK?
It's really, really hot.
Really
it's hot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very hot.
Wow.
Yeah. So welcome tonight. How are you doing? Last week was hot.
Oh well, I'm doing okay, and I'm usually not surprised that people would have different opinion to things. What I have a problem with is people wanting to enforce whatever it is, whether it's their way or whether it's their style of doing things on other people. The level of tolerance for some people is quite low. That's one of the things that I've come to realize. So yeah, it was, for me, it was fun. But I think I cracked up a lot when I can't remember the name of this guy who was describing women.
Deepa.
Yeah, Deepa was describing women like, they have
plum and ripe.
Plum and ripe, and we are their consumers.
Yes,
they have to. It's like a woman has to package herself so well, and you do all the work, and get ready for us. And when we're ready for you, we'll come for you and we'll say, oh, we like you now. It's so that was he made a lot of disastrous statements, and I shook my head for him because the person he's trying to be like, he didn't read up on Kevin Samuels, the guy.
Oh yeah, before we even go on, incidentally, there's a lot of comments. We have like 1,000 comments on that video now.
Wow.
And people were saying that, although a lot of women were saying that we should listen. Somebody was even abusing me in the comment section that I don't listen. I should listen to him. He's a man. I should, because some women, you would not believe it, some women have a problem with women speaking when men are talking.
But Auntie B, Deepa speaks the mind of so many men. You see,
and women.
Yeah, and women too. Yes.
Yeah, and women. So I was like, me and you are talking now. So if you talk, I will listen. Then you have to allow me to talk as well. When one person is talking, conversation has to be 2 ways. Some people have a problem with it when I interject. Yeah. I should just allow the person to be talking and say, no, it's my show. I am the one that will set the tone for the conversation. Okay? So I will talk. I can't just allow 1 hour. We had that conversation with Deepa for 1 hour. And I know a lot of people in the comment section like, Auntie B, I'm learning the kind of patience that you have now. Like, you're really, really patient. Yeah. I'm working on my patience. It's not there yet, but I'm still working on it because I wanted us to listen. It's good for us to hear these things, right? And so a lot of people were saying that, oh, it's Kevin Samuel's ideologies about the red pill community and all that. Incidentally, he was deleted underneath a woman that was not high achieving, or it wasn't anything like he was saying one thing and doing another thing.
And a fat woman at that, fat. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody about their weight. I don't believe that there's any such thing as fat, but he preached against fat women. If Kevin Samuel were to meet me today, which if I met him, I would finish him. The reason is because you cannot let people put you down. This man looks at women and he tells them, oh, you're done. If you're 30 plus, you're finished. It doesn't matter whether you have a degree or not. And then he insults single women so much. Your life is ended. Don't even bother. And I'm like, why do women allow people to put them down so much? And so
I mean, the irony of it, Iffy, that it was under a woman that he had a heart attack.
My goodness. Auntie B, and you know what? He had nothing in his bank account. Absolutely nothing. That guy spent all his life buying designer shirts, designer's jackets. The other time I was watching one clip about him, because I never paid attention to this guy. Every time I hear him talk, I just change the channel. I'm like, this guy is clearly had some bullies deal with him when he was in secondary school.
So apparently it was all about, if you want to attract the high, what's the word again?
There's one, they have high value.
There's high valued man, high powered man or something, a man that is, the guy that is an achieving guy.
Yes, high value men.
High value men. Yeah, that's the word. High value men.
That's what
hello, Temiti, Dr. Temiti. Hello, you looking sexy. You're
hello.
All the opinionated women in the house, welcome.
Hello, Dr. Iffy. I just had to quickly put a wig on, yeah?
You threw your wig on. Uzo, we need to see your face today. Go and put your wig on and come back.
Okay, I'll come back.
Come back, Uzo. I have to see your face. All you assertive women, today you must turn down your assertiveness. Right. So there were some things that I took away with what Dikwa said last week. All right. He was talking about what men want. He said that what men want has not changed from time immemorial. What men want is still the same. They want a woman that is feminine, right? And he had some really good points, and I've taken my time to look at what the feminine traits are. What does it mean to be feminine as a woman? And he also talked about how women who are high achieving women, they are not feminine because they become too assertive and they don't know how to turn it down. So I got about 15 points I wrote down about what it means to be feminine. Here for a woman, the feminine traits, one of them is sensitivity, gentleness, warmth, modesty, empathy, cooperativeness. And he used this one quite a lot, that if women earn more than their husbands or the person they want to marry, they will not be cooperative. So this is one of the ones I did used. And my list, I have tenderness. These are feminine traits, and these are what men are looking for. So we are learning. And being emotional, right? Humility, affection, being affectionate, expressiveness. Women, we talk quite a lot. And being helpful. Women are very helpful. We are nurturing, devotion, positivity. That's another thing. So that's the opposite of assertiveness, right? So positivity is one of the feminine traits that I found, and sweetness, and the last one, the 15th one, is kindness. So the two that stood out for me there is the cooperativeness. He said that women who earn a lot more higher than their husbands or the man that they want to be with will not be cooperative, because they will not be able to switch off the assertiveness when they come home. So if you are a boss in your place of work, for instance, and you get home, you won't know how to stop being a boss. You still want to boss your husband around. And he also talks about how, you don't know how to reduce your assertiveness. You need to limit your assertiveness so that you don't become too assertive, because it can become aggressive. And I agree with that. I do agree that there's a point where, especially when you are not listening and you are pushing your point and trying to get the other person to accept it, it can become it can be perceived as the person being aggressive. So these are some of the feminine traits. What do you have to say, Iffy? I can see you breathing down.
Auntie B, as you were reading all of those, I looked at all of those. I was trying to write something down as you were saying them. You mentioned empathy, emotion, being emotional, being humble, being helpful, nurturing, passivity, sweetness, kindness, cooperativeness. And every time you call out those qualities, I remember you. I have seen what you've done in the past how many days. I'm not even talking about the ones you've been doing so long. Look at all the things you did in this past how many days, listening to people's pain, reaching out to them. Now that's you. I'll give an example of Margaret Thatcher, who ruled Britain with an iron fist.
Iron lady, that's what they call her.
And you know what? When she gets home, I remember when they had to visit. They had to visit the Queen in one of those buildings that she has all over there. Not even at Buckingham, but there's this other one that the Queen goes to spend time.
Yes.
And I remember when Thatcher got there, she told the staffs. She said, "Well, I want to cook for my husband. Nobody cooks for my husband. I cook for my own husband. And please don't touch his things. I arrange it for him and stuff like that." Now, who would imagine that somebody like Margaret Thatcher, a woman who ran Britain with an iron fist, would insist that, hey, I know I'm visiting the Queen and I know that I'm the Prime Minister of Britain. I want to cook for my husband. I want to make his food. Don't touch his food.
Don't call our country Britain like that. It's great. Don't remove the great.
Oh,
Great
Britain.
Yes.
Thank you.
You have to add great to it.
A whole Prime Minister of Great Britain was saying, I want to cook for my husband. Please.
Yes, that's Windsor Castle. Yeah, that's where they go to, Windsor Castle.
Windsor Castle, thank you.
Yeah.
She was at Windsor Castle and she insisted that she would be the one to arrange her husband's clothes in the thing. She would be the one to cook her husband's food. Nobody touches anything. Now, if you see a woman like that who is, a lot of people didn't like her because she ran Great Britain with an iron fist, but she was assertive and yet she knew her role in the house. And this is a mistake that some of these men make. They assume, somebody who sees somebody like Auntie B will assume, oh my gosh, this woman will be so strict and wicked.
Oh yes, somebody actually said it. So you bring me to that point.
Yes.
Somebody put a comment there. I'm going to read it. Hello, B.O. I welcome you, our brother. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You're not having dinner today.
Yeah,
okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to come to you in a minute. And of course, Dr. Semiti, let me read that out. Somebody put a comment on that. He's a man, of course. Okenadu, that's his name. Oh, yeah. Mr. Okenadu, if you are listening, this is your comment. You said, Mrs. Bridget, it's like, I like for your husband to speak openly on this show by himself. You seem like a nice person generally, but in a relationship like marriage, I feel like you're more likely to overshadow him too much based on how you are on this show and your personality generally. I bet he's very quiet. So that was a comment about me and my husband and the way we run our marriage. By the way, the show is not a family show, so I don't need to bring my husband to speak anything. If I like, once my husband is not interested in anything social media, occasionally if I like and if he's willing, I can, I can show his face. If I don't, then it's not his prerogative. He's not a social media person. It's a very private person. If you want to see my husband, go to church. We'll see him in our church. So I read that just to buttress what you just said about how, people who are like us, who are assertive, who seem like we are very commanding, authoritative. And these are some of the alpha females. These are some of the misconceptions. The misconceptions that people have about us. I run through a lot of them. This one says 7 annoying misconceptions about alpha females. Yeah. That alpha females don't agree with anything. Anything you say they don't agree, it always has to be their opinion. It's a misconception. That alpha females are controlling. Okay? They have to run everybody. If you don't agree with them, you are in trouble. Right? And it goes on and on and on like that to talk about how alpha females, they like to dominate. They're always dominating. There's quite a number of them. They like to dominate. They are natural leaders, They They are controlling. Yeah, I said that. Hold on a minute. I like to read all of them. Previous ones. Okay. Yeah. The alpha females are blunt because they like drama. You guys like drama. That's why you are so blunt. Timothy, you like drama. You are too blunt. The alpha females are high maintenance. Okay, high maintenance. Alpha females are insensitive. Okay, very, very insensitive. These are misconceptions, though. And people like us, alpha females are sarcastic because they are mean. Someone like me that is always laughing. And sarcastic, very sarcastic, but that's sarcastic. Being sarcastic, that my sarcasm is meanness in disguise.
Yeah. Wow.
Alpha females are the B word, they are the B word. I can't say it here. YouTube is not going to allow it. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on.
Wow.
About what alpha females are.
Wow. You know, Auntie B, I'm sorry. First of all, I want to thank Bio. I think I got a wind of what he was saying about helping out a woman, and he said something that was very touching. He said, even if I have to use my credit card. When I heard that, I was like, my gosh, this man is so compassionate. So thank you, Bio, for everything that you do. For people like you who,
Thank you.
He mentioned something about Auntie B. Was like, nobody thinks say Auntie B had strong, say him face strong like this, and a very kind woman, and stuff like that. So thank you so much, Auntie Bio, for what you do.
Bio is a feminist.
Oh, he is a feminist.
He's a feminist. He believes in the advancement of
there
women.
There is no argument about it.
He doesn't see women as lesser because of their, because we get bobbies.
There is no doubt. There's no doubt about it.
He's a feminist. When you see men that are feminists, you can tell.
Yes.
And this is all about equality. And it goes back to the way you were raised.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Auntie B. I want to quickly add something to what you said. And I'm sorry, everyone. I'm going to shut up in a minute. You see that guy that was trying to make me tell him something about the Bible? We had a conversation about charity. And I told him, I said, every month, there's a part of my salary that goes to St. Jude's in America here. Those are kids who were born with cancer. They did not ask to be born with cancer. And when I see those kids, my heart melts. I was having a conversation with this guy about charity and all. He said, I don't play with my $1. I don't play with my $1. I don't spend my $1 except I know where it's going to. In fact, I don't believe in charity. There was somebody, I say this because there was somebody who left a comment and was like, oh, you should have tried with that guy now and stuff like that.
You should have allowed him to take you out. Because you've seen the Maldives or all these places you've been to doesn't mean that, you can't see it again with someone else.
Exactly. But here you are, we're going to have a clash. There's no doubt. This alpha female that you're saying is not a good person. I had to cut off a communication with somebody who didn't believe in charity. How dare you say you don't believe in charity when, you have people who are helpless, who need help, who need to be reached out, and then you're telling me about your $1 that you don't play with, and you want to fly me to Maldives? Seriously? Okay. You can't spare $1, but you want to fly me to Maldives. Then there's something behind it.
That's spending $1. That's spending $1 because it takes tickets. It takes flying. It takes staying in a hotel to go to the Maldives from America. Absolutely. So it's definitely spending.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to quickly add that, but I'll let everybody say what they have to say now.
All right, we're getting into it. So, Timothy, I'm coming to you. As an alpha female, do you feel like you've been misunderstood?
All right. Thank you so much, Auntie B, and thank you, Oyibo TV channel, everybody listening. Thanks for this opportunity. I've actually been waiting, and for people talking about your husband, my husband is upstairs. He knew that I was going to join this anyway. So our husbands are lovely. They're not quiet. They might be introverted, but they're not quiet. They are assertive. You can't push them around. So I totally understand when Auntie B says all these things. I'll just laugh.
I read it to my kids, Timothy. I read it to the boys.
Yeah.
I said, look, the comments, someone said, they just busted into laugh. They were laughing. Because they know him. He's their dad. So when they are saying that, I'm sure you are the one controlling, they just start laughing. I was like, why are you guys laughing? They're like, Daddy, are you kidding? Being quiet, never ever mistake quietness for being docile or being weak.
Yeah.
And don't also mistake someone that is assertive. Don't mistake assertiveness for strength.
Good.
You can be assertive, you can be talkative, you can have a strong personality, but you are actually not a strong person. It's possible.
Resilient. So I just wanted to say a few things. Actually, I was the one that told you that we should play devil. Do you know
Yeah.
why?
Was it you that said it?
Yes,
Oh yeah, Temiti, you said it. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was
But
Iffy.
Auntie
Yeah.
B, I also told you that, you know,
Did you?
we planned on dismantling some people
Yes.
here today, and I was like,
Yes.
it will be a delight to watch that. So
Yes.
all right, can I go ahead? Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So because the first show, you see, was a bit lopsided, you know, because it kind of allowed someone like Diko to draw us into that battle, because at some point now became like it was a battle. Like we weren't even reasonable. At some point, the ones that were not at the end of the spectrum, because of that tussle, we kind of drove those ones a bit farther away. You understand? So I just wanted to say for this, let's keep it positive. And Nigerian men, we love you guys. You understand? I'm married. I've been married going to 10 years now. It's going to 11, 10 plus. Yeah, so we love you. You understand? We understand, you know, the culture, the upbringing, and all what you guys have been going through. Yeah. So all these things we're saying, they're not from a place of spite. I just wanted to put that out there. So it's not a competition. We're doing reasonable discussions. Yeah. You can have your opinions. We respect one another's opinions. And if someone brings an extreme view on here, you trust me, we will not let you make us go that route. Yeah, we'll come like the bubbling that we are, and then we'll let you know what the points are. I just wanted to put that there because that first hit kind of just started, you know, ticking everybody off, and then we just kind of derailed. Yeah, and just like what Dr. Iffy said, we've got a lot of men that think like that. You know, funny enough, a few days before that show, I spoke to a colleague of mine, and he said exactly that. I was shocked. This is a very good guy, like good married guy. Yeah, very responsible. Do you understand? You know, so I was shocked. I said, why did you say that? You know, so I kind of calmed down. I didn't make it that tit for tat. We went through all the stages. Okay, what made you think like that? Why did you say that? All right, so now what about your wife? If she becomes probably a big person tomorrow, are you saying that's going to be a problem? You know, so I kind of worked him through all that, and I was able to make him see that, yeah, I know that you are being protective to say, oh, some women who are like this might be like this to their husband, but at the same time, it's not all women. Okay, you know, you should allow women to have that opportunity. You know, so I just was coming from that place, and that's why I said, Auntie B, if it's going a bit towards the left, you know, the left, kind of like, you be a bit. So because someone else saw that show and texted, oh, that's your show, because I introduced the person to this channel and said, oh, do you know that for the reasonable men, for the good men, that he was scared? I said, why were you scared? That the way many ladies, the comment section was quite brutal, that he was scared. Like, and I said, don't be scared. Like, if you hear what Diko said, kind of tipped everybody off. While a few things that he said, you know, he mentioned that assertiveness. Now, when it comes to assertiveness, you know, when it comes to communication skills, we have verbal and we have non-verbal, right? Even at work, there have been times that someone, oh, Timmy, can you just tone it down a little? Everybody is a bull. You know, consciously, I have had to tone it down. And though, as much as Diko said a whole lot of extreme views, he said something that I picked, that I used in my.
Yeah.
My husband is a kind of quiet guy, introverted. He doesn't know, I'm a Yoruba girl, you know, Lagos girl. You know, we kind of, if you know how we talk now, say, oh, you did something like this. He never liked that. I don't like you saying these things. You can say something. Don't compare to this. Don't say you did something like that. No, say what you want to say. And I had to learn. And then that assertiveness, I had to tone it down when I get home. You know, there are some things that you don't have to study all the time when it's not something that is life-threatening or would leave life damage consequences. You understand? Like, you know, you know, I've had a friend, they were arguing about a car, like which one is better. I think they started going off at each other, and that caused a whole. I said, okay, this Mazda is better than Mercedes. Okay, it's all right. It's true. You're right. It doesn't. You're not gonna control the kind of runner.
Why do you think that men, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of brothers are intimidated by assertive and, you know, women who are very ambitious?
Good. I'll tell you, Auntie B, it is still the same thing about our culture, the way they were raised. Do you understand? They were raised like I'm the second in the family. I've got another brother. He was raised like that, and unfortunately, he had his troubles with women. Like, I'll just
guess who have their camera on? Guess who has his camera on today? Adewale! Hey, Adewale for president. Hi, Adewale. You have your camera on today. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We've
I
never
just feel
seen your
like,
face before.
yeah, I just feel like since everyone is showing their camera,
Yes, we
showing
are showing
themselves on
cameras
camera,
today. I like it.
I just
It's
decided to
only
do
me
the
that
same
always put
thing.
my camera on before. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Auntie V.
Thanks for joining us. Okay.
So
Thank you.
let me go back and yeah.
Your
So
internet seems to be breaking a little bit, Tammy T.
okay.
So we're not getting your conversation completely. It's just off and on.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
bad. I have a lot
Yeah.
of. Can you hear me well now?
Go ahead. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, what I was saying was that the culture, like they our boys to believe that they're the head. Oh, then I will be the one to do all the. My brother will be watching TV, playing football. Do you understand? And then at the moment, we everybody has the same opportunity. You know, girls go to school and all that. And then just to let them understand that okay, we all have this opportunity to do great, to get educated, to have all these opportunities. So they've not been able to get it into their head and say, oh, this babe that's in my class, you know, we are both doing the same PhD program, you know, she's she can even have a better opportunity at life than I could. You know, they've not really gotten it into the head. They see us at school, they see us at work, but it's not sinking in to say, okay, this person could actually be my wife, you know. And you can imagine someone like me want to repress me. Ludicrous, it's laughable. I've got a whole lot to offer. You see, I've put in a whole lot of work to be where I am, and then you want to repress me. So the thing is that I understand with the men, and that's why I kind of meet them in the middle to say, I know that the way you had been wired, because we're who we are, you know, it's conditioned, environmental, genetics, and all that. Yeah, I understand that you've been wired this way, but why don't you look at it logically? See, they say logic is masculine trait, isn't it? Oh, it's masculine. So you look at it with logic and say, this woman has achieved this much. Do you think
So,
you want to
so
trust her?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
So
that
on that conversation, we also heard from Brother Dikbo that day that he said assertiveness is a male. He said it's a male trait that is men that are assertive. So I'm thinking, I'm coming to you now, Bill. Thank you so much, Timothy, for that wonderful contribution. When men are looking, because you said on that show that day that if you dey look for first way you go dey control, go find house girl o. Not be all these professional women o. You know fit do that one with professional women o. Why do you think that women who are ambitious, they are pursuing their dreams, why does it bother some brother about not, you know, going into a relationship or having a serious relationship with them? Why is it a problem for them? Do they see it as maybe I can't control her, or she won't listen to me, or she will try to be the man and make me the woman? I don't understand. From a man, I know you're not like that, but I'm trying to look into the mind of men like that. Where this is coming from.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Um, First of all, let me welcome everybody. Auntie B, Iffy, Temi T, and my dear brother Adewale, and I see Ola
Ola,
Ola.
Ola just joined
All
us.
right.
Thank you, Ola.
Yeah, what a beautiful one. Now, so going straight to the point, here's the thing. In life, there are two ways to view things. Sometimes one way would be out of selfishness, one way would be out of, experience. Okay, so I am one man that before I judge people, I want to put myself in their situation and try to understand what is going on in their mind. There are two persons in life. Some people just give their own opinion as they think, and they don't give a damn about what other people think. While there are other persons who would say, hey, hold on a minute, even though I don't agree with this person, what is going on in this person's mind? So, taking a lead from the previous shows and the comments which you've referenced and hearing, I want to say that I see two sets of men, honestly. There is one set of men that just is out of total control. They're just being selfish. So taking it like the way politicians will say, impoverish the people so that they have no voice. So there are men of that set that believe that impoverishing a woman or depriving a woman from achieving and totally dependent on them would give them an edge. which we know of a truth, without going into much details, that has actually worked, especially in a society where there are no backup mechanisms, such as government support and other things. So I said to somebody someday, I said, if the Nigerian government today, for instance, this is not about Nigerian, but using Nigeria as an example of those third world countries where there are no, government support and all that, So if they say today, guarantee that if you are not happy in your marriage in Nigeria, come here now. We will separate you. Your children will have good education. You would have small money. In fact, it's not about what they are going to gain, but for their peace. In the next 6 months, they won't be able to take the queue. The queue will be so long that some husbands will just open their eyes and say, this woman, she has been under J for a long time. So that is just to portray the fact that really men who think like that selfishly, they know it work in their society. Okay. While there are others who honestly, out of ignorance, not because they are selfish themselves, but they're just ignorant. Okay. And because they are ignorant, they are taking examples from maybe stories they've heard and all that. Like I said to you last time on this show, I say someone like Dr. Iffy, I don't know her background very much, but I'm just giving an example. An established woman. I know Timothy is married. I don't know of Iffy, but however, example, an accomplished woman like this, if a guy start dating her and anything she does, it's easy for the guy to say, because she's accomplished, that's why she's like this. But if that person don't have anything, they won't see, we have this mindset of pushing things to what would be when accepted, not just looking for the excuse, but an excuse that will be accepted. Because if you give an excuse that is not feasible, that is not accepted, how are they going to believe? You know what I mean? So if, for instance, you are a foreigner in the US and you are married to, for instance, an American citizen, even if the American citizen is misbehaving and she says, he just married because of green card, it's a good excuse. So they are not focusing on the marriage because that good excuse sounds good, even though that might not really be the case.
Empress says assertiveness is a masculine energy.
Yes.
Empathy is a feminine energy.
Okay.
I still don't see where this assertiveness is a masculine
energy.
That's
where I was just going to now.
I don't know where you got that from. Somebody should. I'm ready to learn today. Remember, I'm playing the devil's advocate.
So I'm coming there.
Where did you get that from, Empress?
Okay, so I won't take time to describe these two views of, women and all that behind our mind. Then I want to go to conclude before the next person, just to talk about what you have. You see, you cannot change people for who they are naturally. It is either you get a woman that is pretending to you or a woman that is just being real, right? For instance, when I was born as a man, I know that I'm a good talker. I talk. So even when some people tell me, if you meet girl, not talk so that the relationship will work, I can't change. This is me. I talk.
It's like taking a fish out of water and asking the fish to thrive in
Thank you. So any woman I date today and you see me being quiet, just know that this is not BO. That's the truth. So unless you are going to discover the BO inside marriage, which is a risk. So what am I trying to say here? Whether you call it assertive women, whatever English you want to categorize it, people are just who they are naturally. And the beauty of life is that everything has its market. Everything in life has its market. For instance, because you are a man that wants a woman that is quiet, doesn't mean all men need a woman that is quiet. I, for one, I need a woman that is challenging. Challenging don't mean you are going to insult me or challenge me. No. Challenging in the sense that, I can talk, but I like to talk. I like my woman to talk, and we make a constructive discussion. Not that we are fighting.
And Adewale always says this on this platform, that she doesn't like somebody that will just be following him like, mumu.
Yeah.
He
So
never challenge anything. You know, everything. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Then it becomes. I mean, this
yes.
thing you said, BO, is so. On Tuesday, I'm going to do a show about a young woman. She's here now in the UK. You know, this man went from here to Nigeria to marry this small girl. She was 21. I think she was 20 years old or 19 when he married her.
How many?
Illiterate. She not finished secondary school.
Okay.
She said her father died, so she didn't finish secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
And she got pregnant in her teenage years and she has a baby. And the man married her because she's obviously, maybe he was thinking, the man is much more older. He's thinking, this one a village girl, na bush girl. If I bring and come here, anything I want, I can do with her, right? He brought her here to the UK now.
Story
And
change.
then, let her, she's not working. He won't let her work. 5 years, he kept her at home. They cannot have babies. And she must not ask any question. Why? Let's go to the hospital and do tests. Why am I not getting pregnant? So many things he told her that she found out that they are lies, like how many times he's been married before. She found evidence, pictures of wedding that he did before in the house. She cannot. Do you know when she got in touch with me, Dio? In fact, when I see this one, my heart can't palpitate. I was afraid because it was during the week of my birthday. That was when she sent me email. Of course, I was so busy that time. I didn't have time to check my email. By the time I saw it, I said, hey, this girl don't reach Nigeria. He told her he's going to ship her to Nigeria. He's sending her back to Nigeria. Now, he doesn't want her anymore after 5 years.
Yes.
So I'm just saying this. The story long ago.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because of what you said about you are not God that you make somebody.
No.
And you reshape them into what you want because you think this is the image of the person I want. No. People are who they are. You see that small girl, when you say come for him, he found a way to reach Obodooyinbo TV to send me email. To ask for advice. What do I do? Mm-hmm. For 5 years, he tried to keep her inside house. You don't let her walk. You don't let her get friends. You don't let her go anywhere. But she still found a way to send an email to me. Auntie B, you are my last hope. Help me. He's going to deport me to Nigeria. Anything I do, they threaten to deport me. So that kind of young girl now, my example, the reason why I'm bringing it is because that girl now, you can't say she's an assertive woman. She's not a professional woman. She's not even educated. She's a small girl who doesn't, who will just follow your lead. But still, the marriage no work.
Yes. So
still, the marriage no work.
Yeah.
Why the marriage no work? Why you think say the marriage no work?
In fact, there are things, in everything they have advantages and disadvantages. Again, there are some men that don't even need a quiet woman. No. I'm telling you, I hope one day we'll be able to see some married men who will be bold enough to come out and tell the truth that if not for their assertive wives, they would have not achieved what they achieved today in life. Amen. There are many out there. Amen. There are many out there. They are just shy. They're just shy of saying it. Yes. There are so many out there. So what I'm saying, this thing is, this is reality. I told you something. I said in our last show, I told you, I said, I've seen successful men that have said publicly to me, brothers, close brothers, relatives, that said, oh, Bob, now my wife, they run everything, I'm not fish out. You know what I'm trying to say? So what do I mean? When you lack, let another person. That is why it's called marriage. You need somebody that's going to complement you, not complicate you. So there are things, if you are even too quiet of a man, get a woman that's very vibrant for you. So they can help you correct all those unnecessary relatives, unnecessary business partners, selfish friends, and other kind of people. It will cure their sickness for you. So at that time, you will be smiling inside your house and say, thank God, you quiet, go carry quiet gem body. They are mashing both of your head. You know what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, it is like that. You are a man. You don't know how to save money. You can have money, but you are just a useless spender. You have a woman that can tell you, say, come, that account, if you try it, I will do, don't lose money. That one is correcting your head, because when you were just a young man, you have money, you're doing like a fool. So, but that's,
you take all your friends out. You will buy food.
Thank you.
They will drink on you.
Yes.
Spending thousands every week.
But now you have an assertive woman that can see the things you are not seeing. They say, they say, no, my wife. Let's kill our ego. I've said it before. This man ego thing and this, see, sometimes the blessings of even a man can be in his wife. You might have come to this life and God has destined that your wife will be the one that will make you shine in this world.
Benny.
And if you tend to be stubborn, you will not shine because you want to follow people's math. I'm the man, I'm this. No, see, nobody choose the agenda. If anybody here choose the agenda, male or female, let that person be the first to raise his or her hand. So what am I trying to say? Why be proud of things you could not control? The only thing you can be proud of are things that you could control.
Yeah.
Let any man say, I said to myself when I was coming to this world, I must be a male. No, nobody can be proud of that. So you came by
If we can
chance
choose,
and you didn't choose.
gender,
You came either as a man or a woman.
if
So
anybody
what you
can
can,
choose gender,
thank you.
you.
So you cannot choose those things. So
I
other
don't
things,
trust any African woman would choose to come as a woman in
you
Africa.
know.
Yes,
So
if we
Auntie B,
can.
let's pass it to the next person, you know,
Yes.
for a while.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
And
All right.
I want to quickly add something though, and thank you, Bio, for those points you've raised. You know, Temi T was mentioning that, you know, the culture plays a lot of, you know, a major role or pivotal role in why these men act this way. You know, when I was in Unilag, we had a roommate called Yemisi. If she's watching me, hi. We were roommates together at Moremi Hall in Unilag.
Oh, we
And
had Moremi as well.
yeah,
in
I
Ife.
lived in Moremi Hall all through. I mean, Moremi is mostly for people who are 4-pointers, and that was where I was staying. And I had my roommate there, who the father is the head of all the, I think he's the general prayer coordinator for RCCG in the whole world, Pastor Bolanriwa. And you know what Yemisi will do every morning is that sometimes in the afternoon when we're tired from, she will tell us the story of RCCG. I don't know if anybody knows that the wife to the GO of the Redeemed Christian Church of God is an assertive woman to the core.
Really?
Without that woman, there is no GO.
Really?
The GO of the Redeemed Christian Church of God is a very quiet, laid-back person. It's the wife that pushes him.
Wow.
It's the wife that got him where he is today.
Who
When
would
I
have
heard
thought?
those stories, and mommy Folu does not take nonsense. They say, in fact, you know, you see her, you know, right from where she is, and you'd be like, oh, troublesome woman, and all of that. People always run away from her. But the point is, she plays her role as a wife in the house. She pushes her husband to success every day. List all the pastors in Nigeria and then mention Adeboye. I mean, I have so much respect for him. He's not my pastor. I don't worship him like most of these people do. But my point here is that there is no Adeboye without Folu. And that's why you will hear Adeboye say, if you touch my wife, I will deal with you. He's not kidding. This is to buttress B.O.'s point where he said, marry an
Big Boy
assertive
is a public enemy. Big Boy is here. Oh, public enemy number one is here. He wrote
Oh my
in the
gosh.
comments.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be more than happy.
Big Boy, you are not our public enemy. Oh. Our brother, we love you. Don't feel like that you're public enemy. Oh. We are trying to get into your mind.
Oh my God. And you know what? You know, one of the things that cracked me up about it, although we don't want to go that way today, he was like, well, I just heard
No,
Iffy.
we are moving forward today.
Yeah, I just heard Iffy say something that's not good. This is not good, and all of that. Please let us be, you know, all about positive vibes today, and let's pass the message across. Auntie B, I'll let you get to the next
right.
person. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iffy. So I'm coming straight to Adewale. We got more people in the studio. Do you have your camera on? I want people to have their camera on, please. If you don't have your camera on today, I'm not adding you. We only want people with cameras today because we want to be able to put names on the faces. So please put your camera on, then I can add you. Thank you very much. All right. So, Adewale, we are talking about lack of eligible bachelors in the diaspora. Why do you think it's so? Why do you think there is a lack, or is it that there is no meeting point? And why are men, some of our brothers, intimidated by assertive, strong-willed, stubborn women? Let me put it that way. All these stubborn women.
Well, I don't think there's a lack of eligible bachelors or women. I just think it's there's this like illusion that there isn't like eligible bachelors because we're not seeing what we want. We're not seeing the men we see or the women we see. We don't deem them as eligible. But before I go on, I'd just like to say that I find it very ironic that we equate a woman's success to her bad behavior. That doesn't really make any sense
Yes,
to
I
me.
agree.
Just because someone is successful, does that mean just because a
Mm.
lady is successful, that does that mean that she would be rude?
Women
Or
who
does
are
that
broke, if you see their bad behavior, you too you go shock.
so I don't get
Bad
that
behavior has
correlation.
nothing to do with your bank account. That's true.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I don't get that correlation. So I took a course last semester in the university. The course was called Teamwork and Academic Writing. Now, in this course, I learned that when a group of people, maybe two or more people, are working together to accomplish a goal, a natural leader always pops up. Sometimes that leader is chosen spontaneously, or that leader is chosen at the beginning. And this like choice is usually based on the experience that leader possesses. Now, when
Mm.
it comes to marriage, marriage is just a union of two people working
Mm.
together to achieve a common goal. That's building a life, right? So they might want to raise kids, start a business or whatever, right?
Mm.
So they're going to accomplish certain tasks, and sometimes the husband might not have the skills and qualifications necessary to to do this task. So, for example, maybe they're trying to send their kids to school, and the man does not necessarily know much about the the elementary schools or the primary schools in the area, but the woman is like the wife knows more about that. So she would just like come up naturally and start like making decisions for the family. So that's how I see marriage. It's like your it's like a dance. The man is like complimenting the woman, and the woman is complimenting the man, and people in the outside world are not really seeing the flaws both of them have, because they're sort of covering each other. They're sort of covering each other. So I don't like I don't get this master slave mentality where the man makes all the decision and the woman just has to say yes, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, and she doesn't even voice her opinion.
Mm.
I don't understand that, and I don't get why people would be afraid of people who are assertive, because
Mm.
actually assertiveness is a quality that employers look for in their employees,
Yeah.
because it actually tells a lot about someone. Someone who is assertive knows when to voice their opinion and how to do it, so it
Yeah.
doesn't sound rude or condescending. It does not mean that person is disagreeable. It
Or
does
rude.
not mean that person is rude. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean any of that.
Yeah.
If you're equating assertiveness to being rude, then I don't want to say there's something wrong with you. I think there's something wrong with the way you think or your mindset. You shouldn't think
Mm.
that way. You should try
Mm.
to reason with the person and see, okay, oh, where is she coming from? Oh, okay, maybe this is why she's saying this. And if you don't understand why she's making those opinions, you sit down and talk to her. I mean, you're getting married to an adult. You're not getting married to a child. I believe
Yeah.
it's someone
So
who's
last
I don't
week,
know.
Adewale, Ola is gonna speak next. Ola made a strong point about how we need to deal with the issue of insecurity. He said that the main thing about brothers, some brothers who feel, like, oh, I don't want a woman because she makes more, or she's too ambitious, she's too assertive. It's not the main thing is not about the person being who they are, it's about the person who is saying, this is a problem for me. And why they are saying that is because of the issue of insecurity. That's the main thing that we need to deal with. Why are some brothers so insecure?
I think it's because we come from a society where we have not seen so many women like succeed in life or be successful. So most of us only had like a lot of men in our society in Nigeria only had their mothers as just housewives. They didn't
Mm.
really have any other job. Even
Mm-hmm.
if they did, they were sort of in the background and the man was put at the forefront. Like for example, in the Yoruba culture where I come from, there are a
Mm.
lot of jobless men who had very hardworking wives.
Oh
But to the
yes.
out
Oh yes.
but to the outside world,
Mm-hmm.
it felt like the man was the head of the
Yoruba women
business.
are very, very
Exactly.
hardworking.
They're
They are
very
so
hardworking.
hardworking. Yeah.
Very
I
hardworking.
mean, our
They
mothers, if you go back then, those women, they've been
then
coming to do business in London since 1950, 1960. You will see
my
Yoruba woman will come and buy things to sell.
I remember.
And unfortunately, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, like you said, ended up with men who were just relaxed and were
Exactly.
enjoying. They were doing big
Just
man.
enjoying.
Just
I've
enjoying.
seen so many of them. The woman is the one running the business, but they would say, I forgot how they say that expression in Yoruba, but it's like cover your husband so the outside world doesn't see his flaws,
Yes,
sort
yes,
of thing, and the
yes.
man would just be at home. So I mean, even in Nigeria, there are a lot of women who are providers in their family.
Mm-hmm.
They're the one taking care of the bills, the school fees, the feeding, everything. But no one really knows because, like, the society, we assume that it's the man that's doing all that
Let
thing.
me
So
tell you
I don't.
something. You'll be surprised. Ola, thank you very much, Adewale, for that. I'm sure a lot of your fans, you have a lot of fans on this platform. They are so happy to see your face, and everybody's like, "Oh, Adewale is here. Oh, Adewale, welcome. Thank you so much for that." So, as to what you said, the point you made about how women is our nature to nurture. That is how women are made. Before you see a woman that is not nurturing, is hard. Something would have happened to her. Maybe the way she was brought up, or she's had some experiences, some trauma in her life. But naturally, if a woman is raised right and they were brought up where a woman is naturally from childhood, we are nurturing in nature. And that's why you see, for those of you who are parents that are listening, if you've got boys and girls, the girls tend to be taking care of their brothers, even if they are older, because that's the nature of women to nurture. So taking care of your husband or covering your husband comes natural to a good wife. You understand? But unfortunately, especially in that our era, some men who are lazy take advantage of that, and they will now be chilled and allow the women to work and work and work, and they will still be cheating and carrying girlfriends and spending the money anyhow. Now, even till today, you'll be amazed that in this 2022, when you buy something as a woman, people will say, it's your husband that bought it for you. They'll go and thank your husband and say, thank you for buying it for your wife. Thank you for taking care of your wife. Like, is everything you own, if you are married, it has to be your husband that is doing it. Okay? So, I mean, the attitude is changing, but it's not completely changed yet. You understand? And in Nigeria, if you go to a restaurant in Nigeria, you are a man and you're a woman, you go to a restaurant in Nigeria, whether you're a couple or not, when they bring the bill, they'll just put it near the man. Because the assumption is that the man is going to pay. But it might be the woman that wants to pay, or the woman, maybe the man doesn't even have one naira in his pocket. So you see, society too is adding to the problem because of the way we perceive the genders. And I was saying that in this society we are now, the society we are, especially in this obodoyibo, gender is very fluid now. They will ask you, what gender were you born in? Which one are you now? So I can wake up tomorrow and say I'm a he now. You see? So will my assertiveness be accepted now if I become a he? Allah, help me, welcome.
My sister,
Oh
can you hear
my
me?
God. Yes, I can hear you. Welcome.
All right, good. Mr. Adewale, Bio, salute. And ladies, cheers to you, ladies. Thanks for having me. This is your platform. I don't want men coming over here trying to take over.
No, 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 no,
So,
no, no. I love it. Please, take over. Take over.
all
I
right,
love
good.
it.
So the first thing I want to say is that, first of all, being disagreeable is not necessarily a bad thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I was just listening to
The
the
feminine traits.
yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I agree with the person that says it's energy. It's not something that's written in stone anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we can look at certain patterns, and then we can see, okay, this is attributed to, for the most part, to women. This is attributed for the most part to women, based on socialization, the way we've been socialized. The way we've been socialized follows survival, right? So obviously, the sense of that changes over time. That's evolving, because human beings, the only thing that's constant with us is change. So when somebody says being assertive, or they allude to the idea that it has to be negative, it tells me they are speaking from a place of fear. And anytime you're speaking from a place of fear, nothing positive really comes out of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always better to be in a situation where people, their outlook is positive. It's just always better for obvious reasons. We don't have to go deep into why it's better that your outlook is positive. It's better to because we can all choose how we see life, right? We can see it as half glass empty or see a glass of water, right? We
Full,
can,
yeah.
or half full, right? It's completely up to us. But I also think that our experiences can dictate that for us, how we see life. If we've had some really bad experiences as an individual, you tend to look at things from, let me protect myself. Again, fear. And we also, even in this conversation, we haven't mentioned the idea that this is romantic relationships we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about romantic relationships. We're not talking about...
The assumption is there, yeah.
Yeah, the assumption is there, but I find that we have to start to spell it out because people start to sound like this is transactional. It's not transactional. Sometimes you're doing it just because you feel good doing it. Not because you expect to get back. You're just in that feel-good zone that you're willing to give to that other person. And then when you start to pour from an empty cup, then you can get drained. And then you start to have expectations. And then you remember that, oh, this person is supposed to feed me back, right?
Yeah.
But in transactional relationships, you start like that. Everybody know that this is transactional. But in romantic relationship, we don't always start like that. It's all fantasies in our head. And this is we need to spell this out as much as we can because people forget. That's when people start to say things like intentional. They start to say all these textbook terminologies. No. You're not going to remember that textbook terminology when you fall in love, when that person makes you feel safe and secure. You're not going to remember all of that. And that's one of the things that's setting us up. So if we rest and relax and know that this is romantic relationship, maybe we can fix things a little bit better. Go ahead.
How do we deal with male insecurity?
So a man is a woman is just is. A man has to be made. That's the reality. Okay. Now, with regards to romantic relationships, okay, even the society, the way a man shows up, even if he's messing up, society will judge him. People will always point to the man and say, where's the man in the situation? People will always do that when it comes to romantic relationships, not everything else, right? If the bills in the house is not being paid, even if you've been covering him for years, right? The moment he gets out into the public, people will ask, who's the man of the house? That's who they will point fingers at. He's useless. They will say he's useless. Those are some of the reality that I think Deepa was trying to bring to the surface.
Yeah.
It was just going about it the wrong way. So if a man is not okay with that, if he doesn't accept that reality, he will try to become equal with women or try to hold women accountable, force women into a position of a man, and nothing good comes out of that because it's not set up that way. So when a man accepts that he's a man, right? Even if his woman is making more money than him, within the context of a marriage, it's not a big deal. We're on the same team. If you already accept that we're on the same team, right? Why should this be a big deal? But once we start to combat, when we become, competition, a contest between each other, when it becomes that, either even in the most remote way, right? Even if it creeps through your head, it becomes insecurity. So the way a man fixes insecurity is to really be okay, learn how to accept life as it is. Don't compete with women. That's actually what red pill is supposed to be. A lot of them get stuck in what they call red pill rage, which is they are angry that we're not equal. They become aware that we're not equal suddenly, and they're not angry, and they now try to pull women into the same position as a man, and they call it holding women accountable, right? We can hold women accountable, but the best way to hold women accountable is to be examples.
So can a man who is not successful be secured in himself as a person? Or is it all about the size of your pocket or your job? Is it material? I mean, is it financial? Does security for a man, does it come only from finance?
No, but it gets harder. It's okay. So that's always a symptom. The money in your pocket, how your bank account looks, is always a reflection of where you are mentally. there could be a lagging. Like, for example, people that are rich, they usually get rich in their head before it happens, right? You just don't see the process, right?
Yeah.
So if you encountered a person who is already rich mentally, they are they don't count other people's money. There's no time for that because they are busy working.
Yeah.
That person will be well secured in themselves. They don't even see what is
Because
going
they
on.
have the vision already. Now
They-
we're talking about the vision that you have.
Yes.
If you have a vision, because I mean, let's be frank, we are Africans. Except you are born in Otedola or a rich family, everybody work their butt off to get to where they are.
Yes.
But when you see somebody, and Iffy and all the ladies in the house being paid, and Temiti, who can attest to this, when you see a guy who is going somewhere, you will know.
You can tell.
And I'm not even talking about somebody that is living in grandeur delusion that just thinks, oh, tomorrow I'm buying a Porsche. Tomorrow I'm going to. No, he will actually tell you, this is my 5-year action plan. And he will tell you how he's going to do it.
Yes.
And he's not going to only have that plan. You will see the strategies that he has in place.
You can
He's not going to be
see because
sleeping. He's not going to be sleeping 20 hours a day and he thinks tomorrow I'm going to get this job. No.
Yes.
You will see he's working his butt off to achieve it. You will know with that kind of a guy, it's a question of time.
There's literally only 7 hours in a day. The rest of it, you are sleeping, you're trying to poop, you're trying to eat, it's useless, the rest of it. So how do you have time to argue with anyone, much less women, as a man who is on a mission, on a purpose? There's literally no time for that. And you can tell because even if you meet a person that's romantically interested in, right, you can tell that he's so interested and he is creating time for it because there's no time laying around anyhow. He's creating time so he can spend time, so he can get on the call with you and stuff. You can tell.
And women also complain. Women who are married to men who are very busy, men who are very ambitious, also complain that he doesn't give me time. I don't see him. He's always too busy. Do you get that? You work too much. I don't see you. And women will love spending time with
you. Cannot eat your cake and have it.
There's always a trade-off of some sort, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always something that you're trading off, and that's not a bad thing when your woman says he doesn't spend time with me. If it's a temporary situation, it's a good thing that he's busy, but he also knows that, hey, I better pay attention to spend some time with my lady, right? But it's a good thing that's a complaint.
Kate said, my husband had nothing when I met him, but today we managed to have everything because I sort of pushed him to achieve more in his life. You don't get one ambition bone for your body.
and that's the reality.
And that's what Bill was saying about how some men,
strength and weakness.
Your woman is the one God has sent to get you to where you need to be. Because ambition is something that I don't know whether it's nature or nurture, but some people don't have it. Some have it too much.
Some people don't have it. Some people, it's what Mr. Bill was saying earlier about strength and weaknesses. We all have strength and weaknesses. All of us have weaknesses. That's the fact of life. And it's a terrible arrogance thing to even group these things into exact structures or exact science. It's terrible. A lot of us will not discover what our weaknesses are until years later, until 5, 6, 7, 10 years into a marriage. Then you start to become self-aware and you say, this is my weakness. My wife is strong in this area.
In that area. Yeah.
She can push me. Yeah. And vice versa.
Let me give you an example of that. I'm very bad with money, right? I'm not good at managing money at all. Until recently, I never know how much I have in my purse. And when I was in Nigeria, my younger ones used to they would take my money. I won't know because I never know how much.
You're not counting.
I don't know. I don't count. I don't count. I've always been like that. I don't count. I'm not good with money. I don't value money too much like that because I just feel like money is only as good as what you can buy with it, right? So I'm not very good with money. But my husband is extremely good with saving and managing money. Before he will spend, he's very generous in nature, but before he will spend, he will look at it and look at it and look at it. Me, I'm a spendster. I will be spending.
He will look at it logically.
Logically.
So
I can't spend it enough. And that's why they spend and spend and spend. And when I come say, okay, this thing is actually not good. The way I'm spending money is not good. I'm spending. I had to start. You know, just submit to his leadership in that area. That okay,
Yes.
you're better with money because you're not wasteful like me. You
Yeah, and to
understand?
be that's the right word. Please hang it there a little bit. You use two keywords that we need to highlight. You said leadership. Now you admit that is a good team player. To
Yes.
understand marriage, if you don't understand what it means to be a team player, then your marriage will not work.
Nope.
So marriage in itself is like when you go for interview, when they ask you, when you take glory all the time, only you, what did you achieve in your last job? I did this, I did that. Have you ever worked in a team? So that is what it is. In a team, if one fails, everybody fails. So
Yeah.
understanding your weakness and allowing other persons to cover up for you and being pushed to do your stuff by other persons who can makes that team succeed. So if you
Because
are in a team,
if
if
you
you
can get
like,
better, why am I dragging it with you
so
when I
what are you
know that I'm
dragging?
weak in that area?
You
Why am
know,
I dragging it? Do I
in
like
my
spending money and wasting money? If
see,
we save
Auntie B,
money, is it not good for us?
yes, Auntie B, let me tell you this. Do you know that in my first degree in engineering, computer engineering, my final year project was assigned
You are
in a
computer
team.
engineering.
I was assigned with a team member, an Irish guy. Do you believe this or not? The Irish guy pulled out of that project before even starting. That for whatever personal reason, he don't want to graduate at that time. He want to defy. I went to tutor and said, listen, this guy, he said, you better find how you're going to push him to join. Because if you do this project alone, you cannot get distinction. It will no longer become a teamwork. I don't know if that makes sense. So what I'm trying to tell you, succeeding alone, even in marriage, is not success. It's just the truth. Succeeding alone, even in marriage, is not success.
All right.
Success is in marriage is when you succeed as a
As a
team.
team, yeah,
That is just the truth.
that's true.
So,
Absolutely.
so as a man, you must understand that taking your wife along, giving your wife that opportunity to be able to do things, operate. And I said it, as a leader, if you are a man and you claim to be a leader of a team, then you give more assignment to the person that you're leading.
Yeah.
Because leadership don't mean you have to do everything. It means you have to delegate more responsibility to others in the team while you watch and let them do. That is why I keep saying it. I've said it here in our dialect, our Nigerian language. I say, people will say, now my wife, they run am. Now my wife, they run am. Doesn't mean she's the one providing everything. But what it means is that I'm not going to handle whatever she says, let it happen like that.
But now women, they build homes now. You
That's
know
what I'm
that.
saying.
Now
So
women,
now,
they build home.
yeah,
But
so now
the
my
man
wife,
needs to give you the tool to build a
yeah,
home. That's it.
good.
That's the thing. Because now we are the ones that build the home. Because this is our nature. This is our role in the relationship. And that's why when man married, Semiti, I saw you shaking your head there, shaking your head when Bio was saying something about how, you know, about working together as partners and, you know, finding each other's strengths and weaknesses and allowing each other to step in. Not that you just be strong-headed and say, I'm the man.
Mhm.
I have to do this. My father didn't do this. Some people want to replicate their father's marriage, and it doesn't work. My father never allowed my mother to do this. How can I allow you to do this? It means I'm weak. African men are so afraid of being of that word weakness. They don't want to appear weak. But what does that matter? Whether you are weak in one area, you are strong in the other area. Nobody is weak all around. We all have our areas of weakness and our areas of strength. So what do you say to what I was saying about insecurity and, you know, working together in partnership, and how people shouldn't feel intimidated because somebody is earning more doesn't naturally mean that they are going to be rude, they are not going to submit, or they are not going to be able to, you know, form a good partner or be a good partner in a relationship. I'll come to you, Bingpe, in a minute. Tell me, T.
All right. Auntie, can you hear me? I hope
Yes, dear.
yeah. All right. Like, rightfully so, just what Bill said made perfect sense, and it has worked for me. You understand? So I'm not talking from story theories, practical. Yeah. So Hobby and I, yeah, we both in the medical profession. And I think I've said it on the platform. I don't know whether Bio was there. When I said, trying to come to Diaspora, we take a lot of exams and all that. So
Yeah.
we had to, he was clear about, okay, you seem to be, better at the academics. Okay, you do take this first, then show me how things are done. And it's just a partnership, it's an understanding. And I remember back then in Nigeria, some of those men were saying, now so they follow your wife, do this and that. Where are they today? I'm not making jest of them, but Hobby would always say, man, he was happy that he didn't listen to what naysayers were saying here and there. So partnership is very important. And I just want to, I think Ola and Ola had said something in previous programs that I also pick. He says he says a lot. If you're not careful, you might not pick in between. It almost seems as though he's pandering, just like what Deepo said. No, Ola doesn't pander. He says some very important things in between. So if you're smart enough, you pick those little in between, especially for the men that are reasonable. Okay, because Auntie B, I wouldn't lie. I've seen some women that do funny stuff too. To our men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course. Of
yeah.
course. That one, women Mongo Park exists now.
We've seen them, right? So now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for our men that are quite reasonable, we are trying also. I think we also should talk to our women also to kind of meet them in in the in between, just like what Bio said. It's a
Halfway. Yeah.
yeah. I understand that we were not brought up with this 50-50 thingy, but if I earn like
Yes.
£50,000, do you understand? And maybe my husband earns £60,000. I'm not gonna say okay because he does. Oh, we're not gonna do 50-50, or maybe we might do 50. But there are other things I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna step up so that I can give my family a better life. And my kids. We have to
Mm-hmm.
understand. So that's just
Yeah.
the for myself telling women that are assertive and also working women to say, yeah, we understand that. For the culture, it says men should take more of it. For the culture, also it says men should be dominant. But now we're trying to change the narrative paradigm shift. And
Yes.
I
Yes.
think, please, when you talk again, please, can you just a bit talk about, you've said it before, and it really, I kind of picked it, and it's worked for me. I can't remember exactly what you said, but you said something about, even assertive women and working women to also understand their partner. You try and see where is this guy coming from. It might look like he wants to not really dominate at that point, but you know that okay, this guy is coming from a good place, and it's not about things that are really damaging, or maybe you're telling me to take a business venture, or you want to spend on something that wouldn't make sense. Or then I'll bring out my where they want, that kind of thing. So, but that it's something that is, like, yeah, it's kind of, I just wanted Ola to when Ola talks, it try and balance it because he said
Ola. I'll come to
Yeah,
you, Ola, in a minute, but I wanted to
sure.
just welcome Bingpe for joining us.
Mm.
She's been waiting and she's looking bored now.
Hello, Big Ben.
Bingpe, we
Morning.
can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Can you hear us? How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm fine. Can
I
you hear
keep
me?
getting husband requests for you. Daddy's prayer is working. You know Daddy prayed for you.
Yeah,
I
indeed.
got another one from Germany that say wants to marry you. They don't allow me rest because of you. Everybody wants to marry you.
Yeah,
So
we'll get to them
we'll get
later.
to that. We'll get to that. We'll start interviewing them. We'll set up an
Congratulations in advance.
Dear, really, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be on the show today. Hello,
You're welcome,
everyone.
sweetie. Lovely to see you.
Weekend.
So this we are talking about insecurity and why men feel intimidated, and we're also talking about lack of eligible bachelors, and also men who are qualified or bachelors who are ready to marry and they can't meet the right person. What do you have to say about this insecurity? I'm particularly I'm interested in learning how we can deal with the issue of male insecurity.
The issue of insecurity is relative to each individual that had the insecurity, because for most people that have insecurity, they don't even know that they're insecure.
Hmm.
And when you try to point it out, they get defensive, because just like when you're attacking somebody and you're pushing them, when they get to the wall, they will turn back at you because there's nowhere to go to. It's not that they don't know that there's something that is not really right with them, but but they just don't accept that
Hmm.
fact that they're insecure. And if you're an assertive
Yeah.
woman, I don't know how an assertive woman and an insecure person, I don't know how that relationship is going to work.
Because an assertive woman, they are go-getter, they know what they want, they are very, pum, 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 everything is on point. They are, they set
Mhm,
everything out, they know what they want
mhm,
to achieve in 5 months, in 5 years. Some people, they are very good, they are very organized that way in 5 years,
mhm,
in 2 years. But a
mhm,
man, if they have a man that is not like that, that is very, go-getter like that, there's going to be conflict. And the man also having insecure. Is insecure.
mhm. Insecurity.
There will be
Yeah.
insecurity. There will be conflict.
Mm,
There will be conflict. So I just
mm.
think for every
Do
man
you
out
think our African men can be house husband? Is it possible? Because I've seen Oyibo that are house husband though. They are
yes.
house husbands while their wives are working
Mm-hmm.
and bringing home bread, and they are happy with it. Oyibo don't have Oyibo men. A lot of them don't have the huge ego that African men have, especially Nigerian men.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Mm-hmm.
seen Oyibo man that is. I say, "What's your job?" He say, "I'm a house husband." I call I've never heard it before, so I was like, "Oh, excuse me." I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "Oh no, my partner works and we got young children, so I'm at home. I'm the one that looks after the family. I take the children to school, and I cook and clean. I'm a house husband." And he
Mm-hmm.
was not ashamed.
Yeah.
Can a Nigerian man be a house husband?
No,
Uh,
Nigeria, we call that one central.
oh my God. I don't know.
Oh my
Honestly,
God, house
that's
husband.
a $1 million question. I don't know.
And to
Because
me, yeah, I want to quickly add something though. I had to go back to the title of this because when you said you changed the topic, the title a couple
I
of
kept
times,
changing it,
I was
honestly.
wondering because when we texted, you told me that it was going to be about alpha females and stuff
Females,
like that.
yes, yes.
I know that you don't see all the comments because there's so many. There was one particular guy who made a comment about, I don't feel sorry for those women, those assertive women that never find husband abroad. I don't feel sorry at all for them. Let them suffer or something like that. And
Really?
when I read that comment, I said to him, I had to reply because I was like, you have to be coming from a very dark and ignorant place
But
to
I'm
be
also
making
telling you now, Iffy, that
yeah.
brothers are looking for wives. They cannot find. Allah will tell you.
But
There are so
and
many
maybe
brothers are looking.
I'm about to make a point.
Go
I'm sorry
ahead.
for cutting
Which
you.
Ola Bill will tell you before I found one one girlfriend now for the
Bill, you won't
abroad.
go Nigeria.
You know I had
Invest more, man. Go
they,
Nigeria.
they
It
say
hard.
they say man scarce. Now so women scarce like petrol for
Exactly.
Nigeria. Women
Exactly.
scarce so
There's so many, yeah, there's so many men. And Ola made this point the last time when he spoke, and he was like, why do they make it look like it's only women who are searching? Why do they make it look like, oh, it's women who are getting older and they are not finding a life partner? The men too are.
Yeah.
This guy, the one that I had to come up with the Bible story and how I had to confuse him about Jesus and all of that. First thing, the first time we met up, he was asking about my age. And I asked him, I said, how old are you? And he refused to tell me how old he was. It was later I found out that he was like 20 years older than I am, 55 years old, that is not married in America. And you are interrogating me. You feel like you have the right to question me. You're like 20 something years older than I am.
You
You're
remind you
55.
you
Yeah.
remind me of the story of one of Bingbe's toaster. Oh my, I welcome you.
So,
Brother Patrick, you're welcome. We are doing cameras only today. Dickball, you don't want to put on your camera, so unfortunately I can't add you. I really want to. Maybe you should put on your dark shade and come back, but I'm not adding anyone without camera today. That's the rule today, and everybody is doing it.
but
So
people can wear a mask or something. Like just
yes,
pretend
wear
like
a
you're not
mask, wear,
serious, you
sunglasses,
can wear a
whatever,
mask or
but
something.
wear
Yeah.
something, and camera has to be on today. It's only
I
fair.
I heard Temiti say something about wewe wow and all of that.
Mm.
This wakpembe mentality, omakpembe. Like
Um,
continue to be doing what you're doing. Omakpembe.
Jen said that
You
I know a few that are house husbands and they are not ashamed about it because it's normal here. I'd like to
exactly,
know where you are, Jane. What country are you living? And are they
exactly.
black or white? So one of Bingpe's potential suitors now reached out to me. Oh, I did my own jajaja. Now they reach out to wait till they don't take my IC for that WhatsApp number. Nine the man say, hey, Auntie B, you said that your husband really likes Bingpe, that you fell in love with Bingpe. I want to meet her. Please introduce me. I look the guy picture. And Bingpe already told me this is the age bracket I'm looking for. Bingpe is in her early 30s. So and I said, I looked the man picture and I said, this uncle, you look a bit older than what Bingpe is looking for, but I didn't want to be rude. And I said, the way I'm looking at you now, I don't think you are in the age bracket that Bingpe is looking for. And I sent the picture to Bingpe and I said, Bingpe, somebody is interested in you. He said he lives in America. I asked him, were you married before? He said he was married for paper. Okay. And the way I'm looking at the picture, this man should be he will be in his late 50s or 60s. So Bingpe now said, Auntie B, no, I don't want this one, no. What it go? I said,
Oh, Lily.
what it go?
Go pass on, we go pass on, we go pass on, we go look for a type. We go, no worry, we get it type. Everything.
The story, what could I laugh? I know, I can't tell the uncle, I say, I'm sorry. Bingbe said that you are not within the age bracket that she's looking for. No, he first of all told me that he's 45 years old. Now I can't look the man picture and look myself and say, I take 5 years, you know this man. I know, I mean, age does not always show, but I mean, this man was lying about it. I could tell that he was lying. Okay? He was lying, was reducing his age. I said, no, you are not 45, uncle.
And Auntie B, what Bingpe just told you is being assertive. What is being assertive? Knowing what you want.
She knows what she wants.
Knowing what you want.
And I said to him, I said, Bingpe doesn't want somebody in your age bracket. Even if you are 45, you are too old for her. She doesn't want someone. You know what this brother did? He sent me a message and said, good luck to her then. Let her go and look for unemployed people and undergraduate that will marry her. I said,
Insecurities.
I said, uncle, you don't fight. You don't reach fight now. She just say, you say you are 45.
It never times, it doesn't show you true color, Auntie B.
Auntie B, this is the work.
I beg, you don't go introduce narcissist.
Oh, these things are obvious.
Moti was 70 years. He was more 20 years old.
Immediately he was offended. He was offended.
That's so sad. That's actually
that
more
she should
sad
go and look
than
for undergraduate and jobless people to marry her then. I say, why are you insulting her? She's saying at 45 that you are about, over 20-something years older than her. She doesn't want Baba, please. And the way I'm looking at you, uncle, you are not 45. I cannot be older than you. I think you are in your 60s or late 50s, uncle. He was so mad. I said, why do you have to be like this now? These are all you watch my program, we talk about red flag. This is a red flag. You must have anger issues for you to flare up like that because somebody said that your age is out of that. You see?
That's the first. So that's the first test right there. As men, we need to. I'm going to give you the balance you're looking for, Timmy T. Okay. As men, I don't want to use the word. It's SHIT test. Women, for the rest of your life, will SHIT test you. You can't even handle a simple pushback. I'm sorry, I don't have time to be talking about women problem or their like anyone here knows that on both sides, men and women can have bad behaviors.
Of course.
Everyone agrees to that as a fact of life. Okay? But remember, I keep telling you, I'm talking about romantic relationships where you and the woman have these expectations that you will be leading either emotionally or physically in many aspects, including learning when to delegate, like Brother Bio said earlier. Like, okay, this is my weakness, right? That's what, see, if you're looking for balance, you need to stay away from marriage all the way. Life, no balance. Stay away from marriage. There's going to be time that one person will uplift the other and vice versa. It's not balanced as a default. It's life. It's just the way it is. It's not balanced. Somebody was looking at Auntie Joke Silva, looking like uplifting Baba Jacob right now. You have no idea what the flip side of that looked like years ago.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Don't compare yourself to that, except that, okay, there are going to be moments like this in life. There are going to be moments like this in life. I only address the complainer. If you're complaining to me, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. I will teach you some concepts about the human brain that you will understand. Everybody has something they care about. If you can tap into that, you can create influence that will help you get the result you're looking for. If you're a woman, there are seduction skills you can learn to get a man to act right. However, I'm going to advise you, don't be a superwoman because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If a man, Auntie B said earlier that a woman builds a home. That's a fact of life, but the man must set the tone first. If you try to build a home when the man is setting terrible tone, you're trying to be superhuman or God. It won't work. You will burn yourself. Vice versa too. If you're setting tone and the woman just doesn't know how to build a home, learn. I said that last week. Walk. Take a walk. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision. Learn how to walk away from a relationship as a man. Stop acting like I'm so traditional. Men never walk away from relationship. No, men, it's better for you to walk from relationship than go around the internet arguing with women. It can never work. Women will beat you at argument 100% of the time. This is the reality. I'm telling you the reality. You want to argue with me, you're looking for balance. I know exactly where Timothy is coming from. There are women who get empathy for men. It's a setup for men. Men, you will fall flat on your face every time you buy into a woman having empathy for us. The world is not built that way. It's just not. That's the reality.
Okay.
While I appreciate advocacy for, this is the last point. While I appreciate advocacy for men, I beg, let us be men. Let us be men. I'm sorry. I understand it.
Let me ask you this. I'm coming to Brother Ide, who is sitting there. His face is not familiar.
Breaking news, Auntie B, breaking news.
Okay.
You know, as you're saying this, the news came up. You know, one of our sisters, I won't mention it, I'll give you the opportunity to research this, who is a very successful financially lady back in Nigeria. We discussed her on this show one time for some certain reasons. That guy in America that she eventually, whether she married him again or was dating, is now fighting with a new boyfriend at this time. And there is a voice recorder right now on YouTube going about where two men, grown-up men, are fighting for a successful woman because of what?
Mention his name for us.
Because of Bogiri. Our idol sister, you know. No, they are fighting. The two men, they are insulting themselves. The video recording, their voice recording is on YouTube now. Our sister, remember our sister now, our rich sister.
It's
I'm sure it's Jeans Lover. It's Jeans Lover. Jeans Lover is on his case. He will not allow him to rest.
No, so there's a video recording now of that guy that had contract, that the relationship was contractually. They said he was married. So another new guy came in now. Yes, another new guy came in now. So she's not even in the case right now. The two guys, they were insulting. Yeah, in the video recording is there. They were insulting each other. You understand? So that's a breaking news. You know, so successful women have nothing to fear. Anybody that says successful women won't get husband, the person is wasting their time, because successful women, we always get husband. It's only that they don't want to get rubbish. Okay? The fact that somebody did not see somebody doesn't mean there's nobody there for that person. It's just that the person have not seen what he or she wants.
He's looking for.
That's it. So if you know what you're looking for, it's not like maybe if you want to carry anything there outside though. Continue.
Thank you, Bio, for that breaking news. All the successful women out there, beg, no teach your daughters to limit her dreams, because there are consequences. I've told Dikbo to put his camera on. He should wear a mask and wear glasses, but he doesn't want to put his camera on. And the rule today is that no camera, no joining. So it's only fair. Welcome, Amayes Kana. You're looking lovely. Your skin is popping. Thank you for joining us, sweetheart. So,
my head is swelling.
Your head is swelling. You're looking good, girl. All you assertive women, you put on your camera today, they are seeing you with all your assertiveness. I told them in Instagram, I said, come on, let's learn how to tune down our assertiveness. Some of you laugh, like say, tune down, come, tune up me. I mean, we will increase ourselves. Some of you, all these women, I know they hear word. But you are welcome. Oh, thank you very much for joining us. Are you new to the platform, or you've been watching us? Yeah, your audio is not very good. You have headphones.
About that noise plenty.
Yeah, get headphones, please. Yeah, then I'll come back to you. If you can get headphones, because it's very noisy in your background. Where are you? Are you in Nigeria? Hello? Yeah, try to fix your audio. It's very noisy. Yeah, get headphones if you can, please. I would very much like to hear what you have to say. Because the way you've been smiling, I think you have a lot you want to share with us. Eh? Okay, who am I going to now? We are still talking about, I'm talking about insecurity.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to know if Temiti, if that was enough balance.
Ola, truthfully,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
you kind of got me confused there. And I didn't want to just butt in.
Yes.
Like, let men be men. You know, in between, I didn't really get what you were driving at. So, if expatiate on that, what were you saying? Like, you said, oh, don't be. I told when you said probably don't pity this man. I didn't get it, so I just wanted you to expatiate on that because it's almost
Right.
we're all over the place. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So the you wanted a balanced argument when it comes to the position that a man and a woman plays. If you've listened to me long enough, we're not equal, not in the context of marriage. Okay. I'm a big advocate for equal rights for women in society at large. When it comes to relationship, not only does a man want to lead, a woman expects him to lead, especially emotionally, meaning he knows how to fight battles beyond just right and wrong. Okay? I'm right, you're wrong. You're right, I'm wrong. That's what creates argument. Sometimes we have to just actively listen. Because when a person is coming off as wrong, they're coming from a place, but also we put on a filter and we're only hearing how we're hearing, right? It takes a person to lead, to say, let me just listen a little bit longer. Maybe I'm missing something and not feel the need to answer right now, right? That's what I mean by don't pour from an empty cup, right? Because you may not, it's okay as a man to not have the answer right now.
Yeah, yeah. To have the
So,
solutions all the time.
yes.
To just listen. I think that's what
Yes.
you're saying.
So
I think what
so
Temiti was saying, I think if I got her right, what she was saying is that this conversation about, assertiveness and, making relationship work in terms of partnership and
yes.
compromise is
Yes.
not only men that have got work to do, women too
Yes.
have got,
Yes.
to
Yes.
work on themselves so
Thank you.
that
Thank you. You
I
got
did I
me.
get you? Yeah.
I
So that
get
we can meet
Yeah.
our men, our brothers halfway too. So we
okay.
can compromise as well, because sometimes some women tend to be too, our standpoint, we stand on it and we are not wavering in our decision or in our stance that, oh no, this is it. You understand? So she's saying that sometimes women too who are assertive women, you need to sometimes, like you said, listen.
Yes. So
Listen.
like I was saying, right? This is mostly driven by emotions. I'm sorry. As much as we want to be logical.
What's driven by emotion?
In fact, the whole life thing.
The disagreements.
No, in fact, the whole thing we call life is driven by emotions and feelings.
Right.
Right? So when people are caught up in their emotions and feelings and they try to justify it with logic, right? By just throwing a few fancy words out there, that's why it keeps not working. We need to acknowledge that we're emotional beings, all of us, right? So what I was alluding to is that the ways, I said that earlier, maybe it wasn't clear enough. It's possible, right? The way we are socialized, right? It's okay that a woman can be expressive emotionally. When a man becomes emotional, he gets called out of his names. You ladies will be the first to say, be a man.
Yeah, it's just like when a man cries.
Yes. So when you
Tell
say
them,
meet
boys
halfway,
don't cry.
so
Why
Auntie
should you
B,
cry?
when you say meet halfway, it's unrealistic.
No.
Um,
No.
Okay.
I
Who's
did.
one is disagreeing?
Yeah.
I
And to be, I wanted to quickly add something though. You know, when Timothy was
sorry, I wanted to make sure that Timothy was okay. We will leave it alone. If she's not okay, we can talk on the sides.
So let's Iffy, quickly say what you want to say. I want to come back to see if those audio is good now, and then I'll come to Uzo. And Omoyo hasn't said anything, so I'll come to her.
Timothy was saying something about, you know, how the woman, the assertive woman, has to come to the middle, right? Now, let's not lose track of what the topic is. You know, a man would have to, maybe talk to an assertive woman, tell her he's interested in her. They have to be in a relationship first, right? Before the woman starts coming to the middle, right? Because how can you come to the middle with someone who has not even asked you out? Somebody who's standing from afar and saying, no,
it's in the context of marriage that Timothy was talking about.
In the context of marriage, okay.
Yes.
If it's in the context of marriage, and one of the other things
it's not relationship. It's talking about marriage.
Okay, now I get it. But Ola was also, now I got that. Now that's clear. Ola was saying something about Auntie Joke Silva. Joke Silva has been known as Joke Silva since I've been a child.
Mm-hmm.
And Olu Jacobs has been known as Olu Jacobs since I've been a child. Do you see the dynamics here? This man is saying you are your own person as much as you are my wife.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have your own voice, and I give you the microphone to speak as loud as you want.
For women in that generation, for you not to even change your name, it says something about the kind of person that Olu Jacob is.
Exactly. And people have been talking about how he's well taken care of, even with the...
I downloaded some videos. I want to do a show about that.
But
people often say on social media that, we don't have role models. But you have role models.
You have role models.
Ajoke Silva is a role model, and Olu Jacob, look at his got dementia, and the wife is looking after him. I mean, you can see their love after all these years.
All these years. And one thing I want to quickly add, Auntie B, Joke Silva is an assertive woman. She was raised by an assertive woman. Joke Silva was raised by a PhD holder who decided not to get married, picked up Joke Silva as a child, and raised her.
I think he adopted her.
Yeah, she was adopted by a PhD holder who said, oh, well, I don't want to get married, but I want to raise a child. So she raised Joke to be an assertive woman who got married to a very confident man who is 80 years old right now with dementia. And so people see this thing that Timothy was talking about, women who are assertive, getting to that point where they know that they need to come to the middle. I think we see that all the time with assertive women. We see that with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. We see that with Joke Silva. We see that with Obi Ezekwesili. We see that with all of these successful women. Because assertiveness means knowing what you want and knowing what to do when you find yourself in a situation. In other words, you realize, I'm in a marriage right now. There are two of us. I am not going to keep talking while the other person keeps quiet. We are going to communicate, just like Adewale said. You're married to an adult. You communicate, you reach a consensus, and you move forward to succeed. So to answer Timothy's question, I think most of these assertive women, when they get into that marriage, they know when to shift. They know when to come to the middle. And that's why you see all these role models who are married and successful in their own right, doing good in marriages, taking care of their husbands when they have dementia, packaging them and saying, hey, you know what, you're seeing a different Olu Jacobs because he has dementia, but this is the same man I met some 40-something years ago. He is my husband, and I'm going to take care of him till he draws his last breath. And I think
compromise.
Yeah,
and compromise.
If compromise being made.
Compromise has nothing to do with whether you are assertive or not. There are people who are not assertive. They are very passive. They are quiet. They don't even communicate. You know all those people that use silent treatment to deal with you? I'm talking about women now. Silent treatment, their own is silent, but they are rigid in their stance.
Emotional abuse, yeah.
They are very, very rigid in their stance. Even though they don't verbalize what they are going to do, they will deal with the man in that silence.
Exactly.
So the point I'm trying to make is that it's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Compromise and assertiveness.
Yes.
You know one, Bill. You know one. We're quiet like that. But inside that quietness, he go they deal with the man. You know that kind of person where we say go they pinch, you go pinch, picky, you go they cry.
My papa say follow friend where they talk. If it person where they talk anyhow, the day when go tell you when they plan the bad plan we get for you, which you talk, you not go know. Who not they talk?
Exactly.
Someone who don't talk. If they have plan for you, you will not know until after executing the plan. But the one who talks too much, The plan they say he has for you, he will still use
Yes.
his own mouth one day and say
After
it
you have
before.
written.
So go ahead.
Yes. All right.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
So we know that being assertive can be a negative thing. It
Yeah.
just depends on the context, right? I
It's
said
how you use
earlier,
it.
it's
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing, it's not necessarily a good thing. That's the
Mm.
problem with generalizations.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Ido, I'm coming to you now. Is your audio working now?
Hi,
Hi, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
that's better. Much better. Thank you very much. Where are you joining us from? Good evening.
Good evening, Auntie. I'm joining from Ireland.
Ireland, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you. So,
Yes.
about this topic, when it comes to women and men, this is what we cannot solve because they are
God,
from different. They
God
are from
couldn't stop
different.
Sorry,
it.
are you calling from Dublin? From Dublin?
Yeah.
Oh,
God
okay.
couldn't solve it. God couldn't solve it. Somebody sent me a message and told me that since the first marriage that God tried to matchmake and God faces them, God washing hand off marriage for Garden of Eden. When
You
he tried
see?
to matchmake Adam and Eve, since then God said, no, he couldn't solve it.
Omo,
No. So
Omo, that
when
one deep. Oh.
when God said to Adam, say, "Where are you?" He said, "It's the woman."
No,
So
he said, where are you? He said, in the hide. He said, what
then,
to make you there? He said, I'm naked. He said, who told
so
you you are naked? He said, oh, I ate the apple. Who give you apple? He
so
said, it's the woman you gave me. That's what Adam thought. He said, it's the woman. He blamed God. He said, it's that woman you gave me. Now God said,
so
okay.
that's
No more
why it's
matchmaking.
something that
Mm,
it cannot be solved.
no,
So
we can't.
one, we the men themselves, as God called them as the leader, they have to serve. And when they are not willing to serve, it creates issue. So they have to find someone to blame for their inadequacy, right?
Hmm.
And this is marriage. Marriage is not 50-50, it's 100% from both sides. So
Amen.
you have to give both men and women must give 100%. So all those assertive, non-assertive, we are both to complement one another. Okay, opposite attract. Not you cannot if you bring positive to with positive they repair. So, and not all of us or all women assertive or non-assertive, but you must know who you are. In That's when you will not project frustration on others. But
Hmm.
when you don't know who you are, definitely you project your inadequacy. You blame someone for your shortcomings, and that's the
Hmm.
problem we are having.
Hmm.
So, by the grace of God, I've been married for over 20 years.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So,
You don't
and
look
when it
it.
comes to
You look
marriage,
very young.
so when it comes to marriage, it's about compromise. So we agree to disagree. And when a man is feel threatened, like I always say to my wife, if you want to earn more, if you earn more than me, I don't mind because your money is my money and my
Amen.
money is your money. So
I love that.
there's nothing well I will feel threatened about. Why? Because when you know you are complete, there's nothing can threaten you.
One team.
So so
Hmm.
those things, those people that feel threatened by other by their spouse, they think they are in the maybe competition.
Competition.
Marriage is not about competition. Yeah. Marriage is about serving one another.
Hmm.
So it's about 100%, not nothing like 50-50 in marriage. I give 100%, you watch my back, I watch your back.
Hmm.
So my interest is become your interest. Your
Hmm.
interest become my interest. That way you both work together. And if a woman is because God created us differently. Even in the Bible, He gave us different gifts.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you cannot send a dog to eagle school.
Hmm.
Okay. So if a man is not someone that like in our brother we are, you can that's where you will see a PhD owner marry a cleaner because what you do doesn't determine, doesn't lower your value. So once you get that right, you will know that you know who you are. within yourself, you are complete.
Hmm.
Then you'll be able to complement one another.
Hmm.
When I'm weak, my wife will be strong. When
Hmm.
she's weak, I will be strong. So that way, that's the only way you can get on when it comes to marriage. And
Hmm.
those people that think our black women are too vocal is because they don't know who they are.
Hmm.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
they are projecting their frustration.
Hmm.
Because they allowed the society to measure them by what they have, but not by the content of who
Of
they
their
are.
character.
So therefore, people will always find problem when it comes to marriage
Hmm.
because they are what they value is not who they are.
Did
It's
you
what they
listen to the last show last Sunday? Did you
Wow.
listen to it?
no.
You didn't listen to it. So we
Mhm.
had oh my God, I wish you had. Because we're talking about how somebody here who is called Dikbo, I've been telling him to come in. He's not going to come in, so I'm not asking him again. He doesn't want to come on camera. I told him to wear glasses. He said he doesn't want to come. So that's fine. He said that one of the things he said was that he's an attorney, he's a divorce attorney, and he's discouraging his clients from marrying women who earn more, significantly more than them, because the woman will not respect them. But everything you said now is completely opposite of that. Like, you feel that in marriage, if you know who you are confident in your character, your abilities, then that shouldn't be a problem for you.
No. So in when the Bible says it command a man to do what? To love. Okay? It didn't say woman should love.
Mhm.
So therefore, when a man perform his role, by default, woman will do what she's supposed to do. So, but because men have failed in their position,
Mhm.
therefore they are looking for who to blame for their own inadequacy. So when I want to talk to my other men, I always comes to the Bible because God says we should serve. And a leader, a good leader, always serve. And when you serve your wife, definitely
Serve you.
by the serve, by default, your wife will reciprocate. So therefore, there will be no like a fight between you, who is the leader, who should be this, who should be that, because you know your role. And when you play your role right, definitely your spouse play his or her role as well. Why?
Mhm.
Because you are both in it together.
Mhm.
But when you don't have the same mind, the same motive, definitely there will be problem. And this is what always happens when there is ulterior motive in a relationship. Always you look after your own thing. Yoruba will say, if you pull from one end and I pull from the other end, things will not work. But if we put our results back together, we work together, we achieve more. Two are better than one. So people have to ask themselves one
Mhm.
question:
Mhm.
why did I want to get married?
Mhm.
When you can answer that, you can bring someone else. Because I've got three kids, two boys, two girls, and I always ask them. The thing is, why do you want to get married? So
Somebody told me, it's a good thing that you brought that up, because somebody told me, one of our brothers here in the UK that is looking for a wife, and he's very specific about what he's looking for. And I told him, I said, you can't be so rigid. You need to be a bit more open. She needs to live in the UK. She needs to live in London. She needs to live in one particular area in London. I said, you're not serious. And then he said to me the other day, Auntie B, I'm still here. Winter is coming. So when you said why do you want to get married? I think he wants to get married because winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Oh,
Mashallah.
oh,
He wants a relationship
oh,
because winter is coming. Cold.
go catch ya, go kill her.
so it's a big debate that men and women should be truthful to one another about
Mhm.
why they want to come together.
Why?
Lastly, before I move to, I want to quickly, Uzo has been waiting. I know she's got a baby, so I quickly want to take her submission so that she can attend to her baby. Sorry about the wait. I quickly want to ask a brother Ido, would you advise your daughter not to be too ambitious? You say you got 2 daughters. Would you advise your daughter that there are consequences, or if they are too ambitious in pursuing their career, that there might be consequences and men might not be attracted to them to marry them?
Repercussion.
There will be repercussions, yeah.
I will not advise them against anything they want to achieve. Why? Because nothing lasts forever. If I say don't go for what you want, and they decide not to because of a guy, tomorrow the guy leave them, where would that leave them? In their respective life. So therefore, it's about what do they want, and whoever that loves you, right, will allow you to be who you want to be,
the best that you can be.
You don't change for anyone, you see, and the person will support you to do. It doesn't matter if I don't do anything. If a guy is for you, right, definitely they will go for you. It doesn't, irrespective of what it is. So
Auntie, let me see what that means in Yoruba.
Yeah, that something that is yours will not go past you.
Yes,
you see.
So yours will never go past you.
Yeah. So the thing is, we have to understand that you don't change yourself for anyone, as long as you know what you want. So you
don't put limitation on yourself. Do not limit yourself.
Yeah. You don't bend for anyone. Anyone that wants you will want everything that you've got, and we encourage you to be the best you can be.
Oh my God, brother Idowu.
Wow.
It's only Yoruba demons we know. We don't know that they're amazing. Look at this amazing brother now that is just dropping all these gems. They're checking what do that.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
This is wonderful.
Thank you very much.
The way you put it, you've spoken from a place of experience, you've spoken from a place of knowledge, and a man that knows truly who he is. Thank you so much for that submission. I'm going to you quickly, Uzo. An assertive woman who went to get her husband by herself. She didn't wait.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. And now everyone can put a face to Uzo, a very beautiful Uzo coming to you with a very beautiful face.
Beautiful face, Uzo.
Yeah. Now, I want to make some clarifications. When I came on the show last Sunday and I talked about how I met my husband, now, I want to make some things very clear. In as much as I reached out to my husband, remember I did say that he was a friend, but I was pro Yoruba boys, and since he saw that, oh, this Igbo girl likes Yoruba boys, let her be with her Yoruba guy. So he never said anything to me, but we remained friends on social media. Now, I did say that when I decided I was moving back to Ontario from Saskatchewan, that I posted a picture with his location, London, and I reached out to him to say, hey, yes. So in as much as I reached out to my husband it does not mean that I said marry me or date me.
No. You don't need to rehash that. We understand that.
We understand that 100%.
But the don't get it, because
it's okay. It's not
there must always be dull-head, my sister. Continue.
Look, Uzo, face me. It's me you are talking to. Anybody that doesn't get it,
there must always be dull-head. Sorry.
That are not quick-minded or don't get things easily. I want to bring that to you. And I thought those people that said when you're too assertive, that's Jezebel and Delilah spirit. And I was like, where are you people from? What happened to Esther? What happened to and why Jezebel and Delilah? And that's why you're still stuck where you are. I mean, if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you think a man is going to chase you like a spring chicken, like you're 16 and 17, you're a joker. Everyone
God bless you. Help me tell them. God bless you. Let them trust us.
You don't give your song to sing.
Who's going to do that? Who has time to be doing that? To be chasing you like a chicken?
You go see beer, go the lack of a corner, and if you say beer, afana.
Fine boy, B.O.
Oh my God. Let us talk.
what I'm saying. So if you're waiting for a man to chase you in your 20s, you're in your 30s, they're calling you, you want the phone to ring, you want him to give you 5 missed calls before you pick up the phone. You're still stuck in the 90s. You had better wake up and smell the coffee. Things have changed. And if you
Right.
want something, you have to go for it. I mean, success comes by being assertive. Sometimes you don't get some positions you want, but by being assertive, by letting them know that you're the man for the job, you're the woman for the job, you will get the job.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to be seen, and there's nothing wrong with being seen. In as much as I'm very assertive, I never changed myself. My husband knew me like this, that this is Uzo, she's feisty, she's not going to take any bullshit from anyone. If there's something that does not align with me, I'm just letting you know on this. I'm not going to change myself, because so that they can marry me, I want to be this way. No, because it's not going to work. Because if
Let
you,
me ask you this, Uzo.
yes,
Why do
Auntie,
you think that some men obviously feel insecure and they feel intimidated by women who, like you say, go for what they want? They are out there, they are not hiding, they are just, they are very, very ambitious, and they're also very go-getters. They can communicate, they can talk, they dress where they look where, and people have a problem with that. Why is it that men feel insecure, and how do we deal with, it's not our job to fix anybody. If I was going to ask about how we can change that, I'll ask some of the brothers in the studio. But why is it that some men still feel intimidated in 2022 with women like you and I?
Auntie B, I think that the men that fall into that category are just weak men and evil bad men. Because they want to subdue you. If you're assertive, they know I can't subdue this one. They want you to come and suffer. You hear all the stories. Bad men know how to pick their victims. You hardly see assertive women fall or come to tell certain stories. I really don't know disrespect, but it is what it is. Men know the women, they can do some certain things that it will definitely fly.
Yes.
I just think men under that category are weak. I would never engage such a man. If I even engage with you and I see that you fall into that category, my mom used to say Uzo is higher and fire. In fact, for the longest time, she was always also worried. I don't waste time. I've moved on, higher and fire. I'm not around to be doing nonsense.
Hire and fire. You hire and fire them. Quick,
You know,
quick.
just life is already so complicated. So why do you want to complicate it further? That's what I want to. Why do you want to complicate it further? So men that do that, they fall into the category of bad, evil, and weak. You're a weak man if you think that. How is assertiveness going to affect? I'm assertive, but would I disrespect my husband? No.
That's my next question. I was going to ask you, how is he working for you in your marriage? Is it a problem that you are assertive?
No, it doesn't. When I'm assertive, but it doesn't come into the marriage. Right now, I'm an assertive woman, but I'm cooking. That's one of the reasons why I'm going off and on. I have a baby. I'm trying to make a nice meal for my husband on Sunday, because I always tell him on Sundays, I give you a very lovely, delicious meal so you can unwind. And that's what I'm doing. And that's the reason why I'm not able to, come. I've not been able to, be at a place, because I have to fulfill that part of our contract, our marriage contract, that to always give him these delicious Sunday meals. I'm here making the my husband holding a baby, while I come on the show and also cook. So I'm assertive, but my marriage is working. It's beautiful. My mom was with us last year. And she said something, my husband were very, very mushy and everything. And she said, if I was never married, you guys would be annoying me. Because, you'd be like,
you can't keep your hands off each other. The last time you were here, you say, oh, he's so cute. I want to eat his face. We're begging you not to eat off his face.
On the show, so you can see him. He's very, very handsome. You would even want to eat his face. He's a very beautiful man.
You said it the last time.
Yes, he is. But he's also an Igbo man, and he's very, very firm, And my assertiveness does not take anything away from him. He lets me do what I want to do. He lets me be who I want to be. Assertiveness does not equal to rudeness, my man. Yeah, so you guys should just learn.
So you feel that a lot of women that are assertive are misunderstood?
Yes.
Okay.
Assertiveness, like I said, assertiveness is not being a mean woman. It doesn't mean you're disrespectful. It doesn't mean that you're not good to your husbands. You talk over them. Having an opinion or being assertive does not mean you'll be rude to your husbands or you maltreat them or you'd no. That's not assertiveness. So I just want to correct that notion. And all of you that are stuck in Jezebel and Delilah, think about Esther and Deborah rather than Jezebel and Delilah. So yeah, that's what I have to say for now. Auntie B, thank you so much for having me on
Thank
the
you.
show.
It's so
Yeah,
nice to see your face
yeah,
today.
Auntie B.
Thank you,
Thank you,
so
darling.
You,
Enjoy your cooking
yeah,
and
thank
Uma
enjoy your
West
family time.
Abi,
We appreciate
those
you. Uma
character,
West Abi,
we see they
Omalicha.
see those character for
Assertive woman, we make
unassertive
correct
women.
wife. Correct wife. Three bossa for you,
I
Jerry.
beg, every Sunday, continue that
Go
meal,
take
eh?
care of your husband and your
Maybe I
baby.
didn't hear you well, but you said that Sunday meal must be okay so that you can whiny. Oh,
You know?
I hear you.
You
Uma West
know?
Abi.
thank you,
Bye, God. Bye,
everyone.
sweetheart.
Hey.
Oh my God, she's so funny. He's
That's
so
nice.
cute. He's
That's
so the way
nice.
she talks about her husband. He's so cute. Look at his face. He's so cute. I feel like eating his face. I say, I beg, no chopping face.
Just
So
one thing, right?
yeah,
So we have surface character and characteristics. People that have worked on themselves can see through that, as opposed to getting stuck on what a person looks like. If a lady pushes back, if you say, how old are you? You say, like, why are you asking my age? If that becomes the way you judge her lifetime character, you have a serious problem.
someone says assertive Sunday dinners.
Wahala.
That says assertive Sunday dinner. Oh my, yeah, let me come to you quickly, and then we'll just jump in. Everybody can just jump in
Auntie
after
B,
you.
sorry, quickly, I wanted to say I'm also an assertive. I cook a lot. In fact, I the correct cook. I cook a wagon, those correct things. Yeah. Yes,
So
so I
assertive
cook.
women,
Yeah.
an
I cook.
assertive woman that is a medical doctor can
No,
cook for her husband.
my husband even thinks I cook too much. And the thing about food is that even for my sons, they love the food. Like they say, "Oh, you're the best mom." Men love food, oh. Men love
I
food.
was saying it in the
Men
video
We
that I
love
do.
recorded yesterday.
We do.
I said, I get people to cook for me. My children will come and tell me, Mom, your food tastes better. Why don't you cook it? Do you understand? Because they know the difference. If I cook for them, they know how the food. I think it's just a misunderstanding to think that if a woman is in a certain way like this, then she's not going to be a good wife. She's not going to respect her husband. She's not going to take care of her family. And the thing I must say about certain women is that no come near our husband, though. Not try am. Don't play rough play near our family. If you play rough play near where my husband did, you go see another side of
My
me.
girlfriend no dey talk, e be like this thing. If something for you go make me, but na me. Eh? The fish say na me talk pass, but na me go cook for herself. She want to cook, I'll drag kitchen and say go. So what I mean is, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter,
These
yeah.
things, it depends. Do you
Yes.
understand? So some women, people just judge a book by the cover. That's
It's
just the
true.
truth.
It's true.
That's the right thing to say. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't judge a book by
they
cover.
judge by
Yeah.
cover. You take your time to know the person. Take your time to understand it before it happens, and don't use one case to rule out or make a conclusion.
Some people
That's
have
what it be.
some people have a definition for Nigerian women who live in the diaspora. And ladies, we have 1,050 people watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying this conversation. If you ever see any brother or any sister that has this, that has you know how you carry a placard and you write something on it like this, like maybe because of the experience they've had, or someone has done something to them or whatever it is, and they believe that all men in the diaspora are like this, all women in the diaspora are like this. Run, because
red
those
flag.
people can be very dangerous. I'm telling you, red flag, big red flag, because I'm telling you, there are some brothers that have spoken in my hearing that will tell you that any woman in diaspora that you marry, she will take your house from you.
Yeah.
That is what she wants to do. She wants to take your house from you. And I'm wondering, where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? And to the best of my knowledge, they've not taken his house from him most. I don't know where he's getting these ideas from, but some people have this very twisted ideas in their head that there's nothing that can change it. And that's why BO was saying, don't judge a book by cover, and please don't put everybody in the same WhatsApp group. So, I'm going to come to you quickly before we have just, people just talk randomly before we end. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Beautiful faces. Tammy T. Hey.
Area people.
President Adewale over there. Hello. Bio the great, Bio not show up for my platform. Can't do yeah again.
Hello.
Warn you.
No. The referee never blow. Wing. You know, say referee never blow that whistle. What did they say? Wing. Come put ball for center. You go to toss a match don't end. Now you know.
Mr. Lola. Hi, nice to see you. Mr. Idowu, thank you so much for your points where it was music to my soul. I really appreciate you drove it home. Thank you so much. Sister B. Me, I believe, see, I know they like to, all this one that they do, if the correct person come, I go stempe. You know they call stempe?
People like you, they love pass. Someone like you,
love pass.
If you love, someone like you fall in love. Jesus.
They don't know.
You go say, can't be this way. Just be like saying they don't talk again. I go now that kind of person I be. So somebody like me now, when I get, are they assertive? But are they assertive because I know what I want. I know what it is that I want out of life. So I'm not going to settle for less. You know, for instance, I've met guys who will come to me and say, hey, we want to marry you. And then you start having conversations with them. Then it becomes obvious to you that what they're looking for are maids or somebody that's not going to challenge them, or somebody that's going, they just want someone that will sit there and take everything that they do to you without any question. I don't think
baby factory.
Relationship like that. You know what I mean? So for me, when I hear these tropes being thrown around, it's not good to be assertive, or assertiveness is equals being rude. It's a red flag for me, because that automatically tells me that you yourself don't even know what you're looking for, because you want a wife, you want a woman that can be assertive. Do you want any man to be able to come to your wife and just talk to her and get whatever they want from her? Because that's what assertiveness is. If that's not what you want, then why would you see someone who is already sure of themselves? They don't have any doubts about what they want in life, and choose to label them as such in a negative way. All these battles that we're going back and forth about is so unnecessary, because at the end of the day, everybody needs love. I grew up in a home where I saw what a balance is. The man doing the heavy lifting, being a leader, and the woman just following. And sometimes my mom is the assertive one. I grew up in a home like that, so I understand what that balance looks like. So if a man sees me, for instance, and maybe hears me speak and says, hey, this one, I don't hear man tell me before, we no go fit talk, she even get whatever, no, we can't talk to this one. That's the problem. You're already labeling the person before you even engage with them. We're all human beings. There's no human being on this platform that does not want love. Mm-hmm. Unless you've decided that's not what I want. But there are people want to be loved and appreciated for who they are. You can get anything from a woman if you can just love her correctly. Just like Mr. B has always said so many times, a woman, and that kind of woman, I will give you everything. That's the kind of mentality I have. So why would I not guard my heart and guard myself, because I've been burnt before? You know what I mean? Now, I've met men, I've met people who have told me, oh, you don't know how to drive, so I can't date you. You don't have money, you are not even working, I've met them before. So what are we talking about here? It's about balance. Whatever you're strong in, somebody else, you cannot be strong in everything. There will always be someone who knows better than you, who can do stuff better than you. To Temiti's point, her husband recognized, though, this my wife is good in this area. So let me put her forward so that she can take care of that, so there will be some type of relief. But if you're dealing with a man who does not understand that, that's when the competition will come in and you start having unnecessary disagreement. We're a human being. All of us want to be loved in this life.
Now so
Choose the person when you know say go fit whatever it is you're looking for. If you want somebody who will not say anything to you, then just carry robot put for house.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
even the most quiet person, you go get where you go push and reach, you go talk.
Even if you no talk, it is saying only when they open mouth, 9% they talk.
Thank you.
Non-verbal, when they deal with you without they not talk, now that one was pass.
Now that one was passed
Like,
because you don't go ever know what's in their mind. You know, me grow up with traditional people when know waiting balance be. When Mr. Idowu they talk just now, they refresh my memory and they say, wow, this is what I saw growing
so
up.
you can imagine how he's raising his children.
Exactly.
So when somebody
if they
like,
say-
this brother Idowu that spoke just now, you can imagine his 4 children under his tutelage and his guidance, the kind of balanced views they will have about healthy views they will have about relationship because they have a father like this.
Like this. Do you understand? I have 3 brothers that are married. Their wives are excited. My brothers cook. If I went to visit one of them this weekend, he don't arrange jollof rice, pounded yam. The wife sit down, cross leg, they drink champagne.
Make I tell you something. I know this man, for London here. The wife na SU. You know those SU when they know they wear, they know they put makeup, they know they put earrings, they know they put anything. If the day I see the woman, I shook. You shook.
You want to shock cassava.
Because when he tell me, I don't feel believe, I don't feel match with the woman. He talks say for the past 5 years, that woman never cook for him. They wear earring now. This SU the gym one.
Exactly.
If you want greet, you go say, bless you, sister. Bless you, sister. That's what she do. Bless you, sister. I say, now your wife be this. I say, no, you joke. Not be this one. This one, Jesus Christ, next to Jesus Christ. This one, after Jesus Christ and Holy Mary, next. What do you talk? He say, now this one, he say, no, they cook. She know they cook for her. He say, no, he say 5 years. He never answer one day, say, wait till you go chop.
Oh.
So what are we talking about?
It's a balance. A person good for here, another person go good for here. Everybody. Personally, if I see person, when you have to know how to love a woman correctly. This is where the men are getting it wrong. And I'm not saying all the men because I've known good men that understand these things. If you love correctly, the woman like this, he go serve you her life like this on a platter of gold. I say I go quiet. All this one that they see, I'm not going to see her again. I go just mute.
Be yourself, I beg. Be yourself. No, be yourself.
What I'm saying, if I meet someone who I'm correctly aligned with, that I can, most of the things that I'm doing for myself, and what I'm trying to say is, I'm that kind of person. I don't like drama. I will let you be who you want to be. I don't have to say so many things anymore. When there's disagreement, that's where you feel like you need to be going back and forth with someone trying to prove your point. But if the person understands where you're coming from, there'll be no, I'm not going to get argument like that. Una go they understand, una go they in sync with each other.
Bro Patrick say maybe the man be the chef for or be cook for where you know be chef for.
Yeah.
You know chef anything. In fact, it is a very busy business person. When we say they only even stay house now office work every time because he has his own business. He not be chef for. He not be chef. This auntie no send them. He no send them. You know.
And Auntie B, if you look close, if you investigate well, and ask that guy, did you see these signs before you guys got together and got married? He will tell you no. This lady was probably cooking for him.
I said she's Jim SU, like Jim Jump you.
And I shared the story of my brother who's
catch me.
I shared the story of my brother whose wife, the girlfriend at the time when they hadn't gotten married would come and cook. I mean, the whole house was filled with food. You see ogbono soup here, egusi soup here, oha soup there. The fridge was filled with food every time. And then she would leave the washing machine and go and wash outside.
You said so.
And he eats Indomie noodles every day now. His tummy is so big because he eats.
That's what some men want. They want to pretend.
That one,
you catch them.
But I don't use laugh Kimi for this platform. That one that they call you go buy the wrong tire size for your vehicle.
No, but you know what?
You go buy Caterpillar tire, put for 504.
Yeah, but I think generally men most men judge things on face value. Like, this is who you are, this is what I'm seeing, this is how you're going to be forever. So, and that's why we have the divorce rates right now is high, not because of the fact that we are in the 21st century, not because we have more women getting PhDs, not because we have more women who are becoming entrepreneurs or
No.
something like that. It is because people enter into marriage. They go into marriage with this, false personality. And because men like to judge based on what they see. That's how
See.
they're wired.
So
That's
they,
why it's easy to deceive a man.
yes, and they know that once they get you, you signed it. After
That's
they
it.
sign the contract, they just have to wait 2 months to show their result.
Exactly.
Omoye,
Let me tell
well
you
said,
something.
well spoken. In fact, I took this word from you today, Omoye. We all deserve love. Oh, in fact, we are this. See, even if you are a woman, assertive woman, president of Great Britain, you deserve love. Oh. If you like, you'll
And the
be the
greatest
richest
need,
woman.
that is the
Everybody
greatest
deserve
need of a woman.
love.
Yeah, that is the greatest need of a
Bio
woman.
deserve. Everybody deserve love. Auntie B deserve love. Auntie B deserve love. Now with your husband go Paris, go do love in one thing.
That video now, wow. Hey.
And I be
Deserve
assertive
love.
woman, no. I be assertive woman, no.
Be man where be say they go to fear my wife for outside. Say, this woman assertive, but I say if you just see this husband, go just cool like ice block. That make you a real man because now you hold the woman press the button. You are taking care of her. You are able to show her what love is. The woman body there with you now. They go say, now ma you be. Why you dey fear woman where don't succeed? Weak men too many, sha. Weak men are scared of successful women. Real men are not scared. Oh.
So let me make one quick point, Mr. B, right? So, say for Africa, for Nigeria, that the focus is always on the happiness of the man. It's always about making your husband happy. That they always center the man happiness to the detriment of the woman happiness and welfare. This is the problem we have. If they center the man's happiness the same way they center the woman's own, there will be a balance. And then even as men, you are your own great influences. If you have friends, you have people that you in group that you meet, right? You can have these conversations with each other because there are some women that are suffering because they have centered. You hear some women say, "Oh, it's all about his happiness. It is all about if the man is happy. Oh, let me make him happy." Oh, you never hear, I want to make my wife. We need to be hearing more of that because healthy families raise healthy societies.
And that's why you see a lot of women that have lost themselves in the marriage.
Yes.
Because they spent years nurturing
Can I
the
share
home,
something with you all?
nurturing the husband, nurturing the children, and they've lost themselves.
Exactly.
Can I share something with you all? Do you
Jump
realize
in at any time, anyone, please?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Do you realize that's the same talking point on the men's side? Have you ever heard the saying, happy wife, happy life?
Oh, yes.
Before? Do you understand that a lot of young men are resenting that statement today because of the same talking point? They feel like society has only worried about women's happiness over and over and over again. You see what I mean by this whole plain balance thing? It just doesn't work. Because they are arguing the same thing. The women are arguing the same thing, right? Do you see the correlation with what Mr. Idowu said earlier? That people generally project into the world what they are going through. It's coming from both gender side. What that tells me is that we're never going to fix this problem with the idea of trying to play balance. We need to understand the way we are socialized as human beings, on the female side, on the male side, and focus on the strength that comes with either side and build from there. Even if it includes certain changes that comes with time, right? We know that women are working now in many professional places, professional aspects where it used to be just men only, right? Things are changing, but I just wanted to point that out too, just so you know, the same argument is going on the other side. It's like two kids who say, no, it's your fault. No, it's my fault. It's your fault. That's what we have going on here. The same argument on both sides. So who
Yeah.
is telling the truth, right? Anytime I
So
see a couple, one
go
sentence.
ahead, go ahead.
Anytime I see a couple say, "No, but you lied," I know from any of the sides, I know it's a wrap for them. They need to crumble that marriage all the way to the bottom before they can build anything.
You lied. When they say when one
You're a
person in the
liar.
marriage say
That
you
was a
lied,
lie.
you're
When
a
they're
liar.
arguing, yes. That's what we have going on here. So who is telling the truth, though? Who as a society? Because again, another thing that we said earlier was that this is how our society was. The people that started the manosphere movements are white people. This is another way we shoot ourselves, and they have the same issue across board anywhere there's any level of civilization.
But
I just
Patrick
wanted to
said
put that out there.
it starts from teenage age that some of them were scared to date medical students during university days. Timothy, did you have boyfriend palaver when you were in medical school? They said they were scared because all the time people were reading books.
That's real. That's
Funny enough,
real.
my husband is here.
That's real.
Yeah, so the thing about dating in med school, I think for us then was that we were always kind of studying together. You had to, study for so many hours. So we were just kind of like
You're
within our
dating,
exams. So we're
within
always
your
moving
group.
together. So
Yeah.
where I didn't have problem dating, but
Yeah.
some people were a bit stuck up. But Auntie, OAU now, we like, if we still team mates, like we were still kind of more open. Yeah, we're more open because we had lots of people from Lagos State, from Ondo State, so we are kind of more open.
That school was good.
Yeah, but the problem was just because some of those other men would not understand. But not only you, they read with you studied this out here, so
read.
they would
Now
not
they reach,
understand the demands and the
yes,
challenges.
there was a lot of commitment for you. I had a roommate. In my final year, I was staying in the postgraduate hall, and all those postgraduates, they will come and say they are doing PG. They won't stay. They will now rent their room out to us because it was one bed, and so. In the other block, there were 3 rooms and one of them was my friend was there, and one of them was a medical student. My God, the hours that they read, Jesus!
If it was a crazy school,
She was reading all the time. I felt sorry for her. I said, "This book too much." I played throughout.
So
I played from year one.
It was very intense. I wouldn't like to be. So at the time, anybody would not really understand why. Be like, "Oh, why you?" Though we had I had colleagues that would dated people from other, but there was this guy that was even accounting. He would even be the one to tell her that, "Oh, you've not studied." He was like, you always have too much. You won't think I need to like quench or something like that. So
Adewale, are you okay?
It wasn't so bad. Yeah.
Somebody said that this happy wife, happy life that Ola said is a Western. That is a Western statement. I never see anybody in Nigeria say happy wife, happy life. It's a Western statement. Like now, Igbo people, it's for Igbo people that say happy wife, happy life.
Well, not just that. It's a hyperbole. It's not supposed to be meant literally. If you're stuck on this as a literal thing, you are the butt of the joke.
So, if from my point, right, when the society, the problem we have is we don't have mentor anymore. We don't have someone that will aspire to. So the way they will put women aside, this is how you treat your husband, this and this, who put the men aside and teach them the same value, what they put on women. So, but because of where we are, nobody have that mentor anymore. One guy came to me at work. We were just talking. He said, "Are you married?" I said, "Yes, I am with 4." He said, "No, you can't." I said, "Yes." And the first thing he said to me, "There's no way to find a girl." I said, "Okay." I said, "The same problem you said is the same thing that girl will say. There's no way to find a boy." I said, "You see, for you to find, you must be looking. And you must be looking at the right place. So if you are not looking at the right place, you're not going to find the right one." I said, "There are so many out there, but so many women, but few wives." So the same thing with men. So many men, but few husbands. Because are you ready for marriage? Do you know what it takes to be a man? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And that is my selling point. And I say I can only advise you based on what I know, based on what I do.
Did you see this
Because
comment, my brother? Daniel Augustine said, from my experience, most women are rude when they earn more. It can be direct or subtle.
And to
no,
be, we would
no,
always have people who are going to be like this.
Somebody said
no.
in the comment section of
Never
that
going to
last show,
change.
if instead of
Yeah.
you trying to pull women down, why don't you try to step up? You to
So
level up.
Exactly.
so
So we're going to have
Level
people
up.
like this. They are going to keep thinking this way. And,
Level up instead of
and
trying
I'm
to
sorry,
bring
Mr.
women
Idowu.
down.
I'm sorry, Mr. Idowu, for cutting in. We're going to keep having people like this. You see, the world will be a boring place when you have people who agree together all the time.
Yeah.
So
He
the
said from his
bottom,
experience. He said from his experience. But someone is saying, Kasana is saying that women who earn more are not rude. You only expect them to be rude. So you see what you expect.
exactly.
That's very true. If you agree that we are spiritual beings, you will agree what you're expecting. I mean, you will
Exactly.
attract what you are expecting
So always
because
be
you will look for it, and there's enough of it.
absolutely, absolutely. You're
Look
gonna
at
keep
this
having
one.
people like this, yeah.
Didi
Uh,
said, I'm doing my master's in nursing. I met a Nigerian man who is an engineer and he tried all he could to convince me not to further my education. Then asked if I'll make more than him. I ghosted him.
Lobaton.
With speed of
Actually,
light.
yeah,
Speed of light now.
somebody introduced me to a guy who is based in Maryland here in America, and I remember that they gave him my number. He called me, and then he was like, "How much do you earn?
Eh?
Aye.
How much?
No,
How
no.
much?
Aye.
How
How will
much do
somebody
you
ask
earn?"
that kind of a question? How do you ask people?
Somebody asked me that kind of question, and I had to call my auntie in Canada, and I'm like, "Don't ever give my number to somebody like this ever again."
He
I mean,
actually asked you without meeting you how much you
without
earn.
meeting me. And I was like, what kind of a question is this? And you would be amazed at this so-called idea about being assertive. It's just simply knowing what you want and what you don't want. That kind of a person, you don't want to be with that kind of a person. You don't want to waste time picking that person's call. I didn't even know that people can maintain Nigerian lines that long. I've never been able to successfully maintain a Nigerian line. So I blocked his American line, 2 lines, and then I'm getting a message with a Nigerian line saying, "Oh, you know what? You're
That's
not picking
Nigerians
my
in
calls.
America.
You're not picking my calls, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, this one, I'm going to block it again as well. Like, what the heck? Like, you're talking to me, and the first thing
What
you're
led to
asking
it?
me,
Was it a conversation you had that led to it, or it just came out from nowhere?
"Oh no, this one is, hey, so your auntie in Canada gave your number to me, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So you are," I can't even remember his name. And he was like, "Oh, so let's start like this. How much do you earn in particular?" This is literally the start of a conversation.
Oh my God. Adewale, please. I mean, I don't understand. Adewale, say something. You've been quiet for
Adewale
so long.
Soros, okay.
Soros,
Soros,
okay.
okay. Adewale, Soros, okay.
I, I'm a bit shy. Like I don't want to cut anyone off, so I haven't
No,
like
I
said
can, I
anything.
can tell. I can tell.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead and say something.
So I've been fortunate to live in two countries, and I've seen a lot of like balanced relationships. So that's kind of helped me. Like it kind of took away all the toxic and like bad relationships I saw when I was in Nigeria. And what I realized is like when I was doing my bachelor's, I realized I did my bachelor's in Turkey. So I was around a lot of Turkish people, and then I realized what happens is like in their first year, the men and the women they meet, right? They start talking. Within their second year, they start, pairing up. They start having they get into a relationship.
Relationship, yeah.
They work in their third year, their families meet in their fourth year. By the end of the fourth year, they do their introduction. Maybe a year or two later, they get married. And I realized that the way they view relationship is balanced. There is no, oh, the man has to do this one for me, the woman has to do this one for me. They see relationship as something that is balanced, and they see it in like in terms of like a long-term perspective. There is no, oh, you must do this for me, I must do that for you. It's like it's balanced. And I think a lot of Nigerian men need to see a lot of balanced relationships. I think a lot of us
Maybe we
grew up
help them
in
to get more perspective.
more
Because you're
perspective.
married,
Exactly.
and even one more year is confirming that somebody they've met asked them if they will give up their professional job for marriage.
Exactly, because in Nigeria we've seen a lot of women give up their career for men because the men, like the man's family has required the woman
Yeah,
to
that's when they say he
give up.
said I can't work. He told me not
Exactly.
to work, and you
I can't
too, you
walk, but
didn't
that
work.
doesn't even make any
Now you are
sense.
crying 10 years into the marriage that
Exactly.
is the
So
one that told me not to work. Maybe you wanted to do good girl. Eh, it's
so
not that
like I think
an
I think
assertive woman will not take that. Mm-mm.
no.
But
No, Auntie B,
our
sorry, Auntie B,
parents.
we shouldn't say good girl. Do you understand? Being dumb, being stupid or foolish doesn't make you a good girl.
No, it's good girl in
That's true.
quotes.
No,
I
no,
just
no, no,
didn't
no,
put
no,
my
no.
hands up. No,
Yeah,
no, if you're trying to be a good girl, otherwise, why would somebody, you are not my father, you didn't send me to school. You know, my mama suffered to pay my school fees for me to get that degree in OAU. Then I have a job. You tell me to quit my job because of what? Marriage. Eh? And me too, I will say, okay, I'm not marrying. I beg to resign. I go write letter, resign,
The
because I want to sit
reality,
down for the
And you
house so
submitted
that
the
you can
letter.
be feeding me. Abi?
the reality is that we do have parents advising their daughters, "Pay, dear, oh, you want to buy a house?" We do have that. So there's confliction everywhere. Um,
Don't drive big cars so the men will
yeah,
approach you.
yeah. Because they also start to get fearful once a woman starts to get to a certain age. Obviously, they want what
Yeah.
they want for their
Flo
daughter.
said, wife must submit. Wife must submit to their husbands.
but husband must
It will
love
always
their
be
Well,
wife.
people
people
like
don't
that.
Yeah.
understand the dynamism of the Bible, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
there will always be
please,
I'm
people
I
like
beg
that.
you, in the
Bible
name
I'm
of
was
Jesus
written how many
Christ, we
years
all read
ago?
the Bible. Look
There's
at
no
that
I'm
point.
chapter properly.
I'm
It says
I'm
that we
so
should submit to one another.
Yeah.
Okay? You need to
I'm
look at
so
it. And it didn't say you must is not there, Egbami.
Yeah.
Which Bible are you reading from?
well, I'm so tired of that word submission because
I
I
know, I
always
don't like that
I
word
I
either.
I always make this joke to
They've
my friends.
abused it.
I'm like if
Well,
I get married to someone today and the person is doing the whole submission thing, I wouldn't even know.
there's the flip side. There's the flip side of being afraid of the word. Remember what I said about fear earlier, right? When you act out of fear, it's because you've had experience of people misusing the word, right?
The
And
Torah says
we all have to
husband
be
must
careful with
love
that.
too. Why you putting must? Yeah, rewriting
Yeah,
the Bible.
context matters, right? Where's the rest of the story?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's true. Because
They've
for
abused
for
that word, that
yeah,
verse of the Bible. People, they don't read it they don't read the whole chapter. They only
no.
pick out that, and this is the problem in Christendom today. People pick out the part that can justify what they are trying to put out there to prove their point. But you don't read it all. If you go back and read it, it says submit to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Eh? And it says
context.
submit to one another. You
Mm-hmm.
need to read it. Don't pick only one. Then it now say, husbands, love your wife as
Right.
Christ loved the
The
church.
truth.
Do
Yeah.
you know the depth of Christ's love for the church?
He
It's
Mm.
gave
very, very
himself.
deep. Oh.
But you know what they say about dishing it and not being able to take it.
Take
Like it's
it.
like you're
Yeah.
dishing it and you can't take it, right?
If
Yes.
a lot of men can love their wives the way the Bible says, love your wife the way Christ loved the church, then submission will not
We
be a
won't have
problem.
divorces. We won't have
We won't be fighting every
separation.
day. If you have to demand
Absolutely.
submission, then there's a problem already, isn't
I
Yeah.
it,
don't even
brother? You,
Mm.
understand.
if you
Yeah,
have
why
to
is it?
fight, say, give me my submission. You must submit.
But there is something when there's something I wanted to note when someone was speaking.
Anyway, you must say something after Bill. You've been quiet for too long. You
Yeah,
and Adewale, you're in
yeah,
the same WhatsApp
I
group
was going
today.
to make a notation somewhere so we
Mm,
don't mistake some things. I know that definitely there are some men, depends on what is your motive behind that statement. Like for instance, I'm a lovely guy. I want to always be with my partner. I wish me and my wife can spend every minute together. Okay. So let's say for instance, my wife is taking on a job that is taking her away from me. I'm not happy regardless of how successful she is or
mhm.
she's becoming. So if I say that from a place of love, not from a place of competition or
If you say
trying
what?
to.
You say if you say that, what do you mean if you say that? If you say what?
Okay, like say for instance, you would hear some men would say let's say a guy says one particular job. What kind of job can I give example now? Let's say
Let's say
if
she's
you
a
are
travel medical person who travels
okay,
all
thank
Travel
you for
nurse. Travel
travel
nurse in
nurse. Yeah.
America.
yeah, thank you for bringing that. Let's say, for instance, I feel that this is going to affect the time that we spend together. Okay. And I know that I love my wife so much that I want to see her every day of my life, if possible, and I know that we already have the money, we can do well. It's not like without that job. And I say, oh, babe, why don't you look for another one rather
That's
than this?
different.
Yeah,
That's
that's
different.
different. No, I just had to mention that. I know.
It's completely different. You are not telling her to quit her job.
Yes, and people, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people on the
I
comment
know.
section
I know.
because like we always say, there are people around us that listen. They miss up things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So me noting it has nothing to do with anybody on this panel. For
Okay.
instance, there are thousands of people there out listening to us. So sometimes when we point out things, we already know that there are people who are bright enough to know already. All right. So, but we also try to break things down. You understand what I mean? So that someone out there, let's say, for instance, you are a woman, you're trying to go one job now, you are watching this show. Maybe your husband, out of a place of love, for instance, you say, why are you taking this job now? I'm not going to see you every day. Say, hey, they talk about that program. They say, woman, no go, you know, go let woman grow. You know, go let woman grow. That's what you are trying to correct. You understand what I'm saying?
I get what
You
you
know?
mean.
So,
Auntie B, that's a bit tricky. Bio,
okay.
that one that you said is a bit tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, go
It's a
ahead.
bit
Yes.
tricky.
Let me
What do you
listen to it.
mean?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Now, okay, so you said there are some jobs that you do 12 hours. That's the job. Do you know why I said it's a bit tricky? Because I know someone whose husband said something like this. Exactly. And she didn't take the job. There are some jobs that are 12-hour shifts. Yeah. And that, she could find another type of job. Probably that was the best option she could get. That would be could work into the logistics of the home, it's closer to home and all that. But if you say you love your wife too much, you want to see her every day, I think that I'm not comfortable with that view. I want you to give that a rethink, because now she could get a job that could take her away for a bit much longer. You could say, my wife, I understand that you've got this job and then it's going to take you out of the home for this while. Okay, what about if you probably start the job and maybe if you can look out for something else, or maybe we can see how you can modify your shift. That's compromise. But if you come and tell me that, oh, you want to see me every day and then you don't want me to take that job and look for another job.
Oh, I think you misunderstood.
Okay.
Tell
Yeah,
me,
go ahead. Probably.
understood
Yeah.
what. Let me explain it to you what Bill was saying. This is what he was saying. He's saying that the nature of his personality is that he's very mushy, like Uzo. Yeah, all of you are romantic here. You like to spend
Quality time, lover boy.
You like to
Mr.
spend time,
Bio.
lover boy. Bio is always in the house, kitchen, cooking, or going to dinner. All in his Instagram is one restaurant to the other. You will see him, or he's cooking. Now he started doing video when he's cooking. So he said he likes to spend time with his partner. And if she wants to take a job that takes her very far from home, it's going to have an impact on their relationship. That's a very valid point, right? He's expressing this is the impact it will have on me, right? Brother Patrick, please put your camera on so that we can add you. We need cameras on today, sir. Emma Binu.
I saw
So he's
a
saying,
very funny comment, Auntie B. Like, forgive me for choking up right here. There was somebody in the comment section that said something about wanting to see her every day for what? For Kwekus? And I was like,
yes, why not? What's wrong with
Kwekus
that?
is food now. No be
What
food.
is wrong with that? For Kwekus and everything else that follows. Not being wife, I beg go. Mona leave matter. Anyway, so the point he was making is that he would say to her, he's not going to say she's on the job already or she's taking the job already. He's not going to stop her, but along the line, what he's going to advise her to do is to look for another one so that the impact on their marriage would be minimized. He's not going to say, don't take it. He's going to say, why don't you look for another one? So she may take it temporarily while she's looking. Or if she's already doing the job, then she will look at it because it's a reasonable request.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you can that's the same thing. I think I misunderstood him. That's the same thing I said. That
if she's already doing the job,
then see how we
if
can
she's a wise woman, she will take that advice. I mean, she will consider his feelings. Because if he's needy, like me, I'm very needy when it comes to love and relationship. Give me my love.
Yeah,
There's a lot
so
there.
some women like money, but they cannot marry politician. Not because they don't like the money, because today is in Abuja, tomorrow is in this thing.
France,
That
France.
time
Sometimes
is
it's
more
in
important
France.
to some
You
people.
understand what
That
I'm
time,
saying? So
I
the
want
point,
to see you.
I also understand Temiti's point, which is very valid. Some persons might use that as an excuse, you know, understand? But what we are saying here is that
Yes.
apply common sense. So
Okay.
common sense is the most important thing. That's why
Yeah.
So,
we just need to apply it.
And
please.
Sister B, I have to run. I have to run. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
want to
Thank
say
you,
something before
everyone.
you go? Yeah.
Yeah, I just say this. Let's keep having the conversation. There's a lot of work that we have to do, especially those of us ahead. Somebody will ask Mr. Idowuna, say, you don't marry for 20 years. What about us? You're talking about stuff from 20 years ago. What about us? So we have work to do, right?
Yeah.
So for those of us that we feel good in what we're in, you're needed because you're usually not loud enough on this internet. The terrible stories are louder. And
Yes.
so we have work to do, but I encourage everyone. Let's continue the conversation. I'll be back,
Thank
as
you.
you know now.
All
Thank you,
right.
everyone. Good to
Thank
see
you
you all.
so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We are going to be in Ola and Lola's channel. I'm going to announce the date. I think it's the 26th. 26th. So I'm going to announce it. We're going to go. We are moving the movement to their channel, but I will announce it to the community section. Adewale, you wanted to leave as well. I saw you waving. Or are you staying? Are you here?
I was saying goodbye
Oh,
to
you're saying goodbye to
Ola.
Ola. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to, this comment, I wanted to read it. What Bio said, UU Peace is saying that the man can also look for another job if it will help the family situation. Okay. I'm going to address, or let me allow Mr. Idewu to address that. But Idewu, what do you say about that?
So, from my point, right, this is about understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So, if a man get a job that will take him away from the house,
Mm-hmm.
it's not advisable to leave your family alone for a period
Mm-hmm.
of time.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, when I walk away in France. I always go. I worked there for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and every weekend I have to travel back to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being, I don't want to leave my family alone. And they say, "Oh, why don't you just stay because of the traveling of the expenses?" I said it's more costly for me to stay in France than to be coming back every weekend because anything can happen. So therefore, if a woman as well, you have to know your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing you have to understand. Know
Mm-hmm.
who you married to.
Mm-hmm.
If you married to a mango park, don't allow the the
This
distance.
mango park, everybody knows the word
You
mango
know,
park now, but I know who knows mango park,
so
yo.
to be too long, right?
Yes, yes.
So
So, yeah,
know who you married to.
yeah.
So I will advise any, whether men or the women, if you get a job, people always take everything out of context.
Yes.
People will
And
say something out
everything
of,
doesn't need to be,
you
what
know,
about you? Don't always
value.
make it seem, what about you? And this
Eh,
is what I think this goes to the point that Temiti was making earlier on about how
So,
women, you too need to be flexible and be ready to compromise. Like
mm,
opinionated Jen is saying now, right? They can both compromise. The woman doesn't have to necessarily give up the job. Either can move. Okay, let me give you a scenario. Let's say Bill, he works in IT. He has a job where he earns 3 times more than his wife. And he's paying 70% of the bills at home. And it is not so easy for him to get a job like that. Would you rather, because you want to argue a point, not give up a job where you know that he's earning more, he's paying more of the bill, and you can easily get a job because you work in healthcare? Would you rather, because you want to argue a point, say that no, what about you? You can give up your job or you can move. It doesn't make
so,
sense.
so this is
It
why it's
doesn't
very
always have to
important.
be a tug of war between men and women to be saying, you nko, me nko. No, that is not the point. The point is what makes more financial sense for the family when we are talking about income coming into the family. Remember what Mr. Ido said at the beginning. My wife's money is my money. My money is my wife. Is my wife's money. Why would he give up his job to move to your city where you are working when he's paying 70% of the bills and he earns 3 times more than you? You really want your family to lose money because you are too proud to give up your job when you can get another job? He's not saying don't work, oh, he's just saying, why don't you look for another one nearer home so we can spend more time together? Ladies, please, make we not overdo. This is reasonable as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Auntie B, an assertive woman will calculate faster than any.
Oh yes, you know, see me as I spin them from my head quickly.
This is
Because
where the money is.
I'm not taking money out of my family's pocket because I want to be doing that. No, you can't tell me what to do. Why?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is
somebody is arguing. Sorry, if somebody is arguing that what if the person, that's what the woman loves to do. That because she likes that job, that's the job, the dream job that she has been looking for, and she finally got it. Why do she have to leave the job? But I mean, I think when we are getting married, marriage is for adults and it's for matured minds. And when you're in a marriage, it's not all about you anymore. You have to think of what is the betterment for the family. Of course, you have your dreams, you have your aspirations, but the family will always come first.
Amen.
When you are in a marriage, if you are a single person, okay, you can do whatever. You can change your job anytime. You can travel anytime. But the moment you decide to be mingled with somebody, you have to always think of what is the betterment of my marriage, whether you have kids or not. So it's like Auntie B said, it's not. We are not fighting each other. It's not okay. I can't do. Why should I do it? Why is it not you? Why should it be me? You have to
people butt heads. Yeah, they butt heads when there's no common sense.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, ladies.
Logical and reasonable.
Let me tell you, ladies. Don't always get carried away with always trying to argue your standpoint without weighing it up. Okay, you need to always weigh up whatever decisions that you want to make as a family unit. If you are in a marriage, weigh it first. Don't look at it as if, oh, so I have to give up this job now, but I love this job. But what is the impact on your marriage? What is the impact on your husband? Can you get another job? Do you want to spend time with your husband, or you want to leave him alone? And because of that job, you go away, and then there's a crack in your marriage because of that. Not all men will settle for long distance marriage. They don't want it. They don't want it. So if your job is bringing long distance between you and your husband, and he's a reasonable man, and he's saying, "Honey, why don't you look for another one closer home?" I don't think that's asking for too much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Auntie B. I wish they put sense for bank. I will give some people check me, they can withdraw. Thank you, Bimbo. This is the reason why some marriages today, husbands will go for morning duty, wife will go for night duty. What time do you have together? You know, so this is what we are saying here. You know, if you are coming to compromise, doesn't mean you are killing somebody's ambition. Like I said, I didn't even say don't take the job. Even if you do, show some signs of concern that you're concerned about me being away from my husband. I'm doing everything possible to correct it. That's what we just said. It doesn't mean you shouldn't take the job. You can take it and walk away to correct the things. You understand? But don't just take it like because somebody is bringing a concern, whether a woman can also bring a concern on a man now. Like, honey, which kind of job? Now you walk past, you are doing nursing, assistance or whatever. You leave us for money. Anytime there's overtime, you always pick it. You don't have time for me. You don't have time for my children. Then the man will say, which woman, they kill my ambition. They kill my ambition. They're not killing your ambition.
Can I just quickly come in?
Go ahead.
Yeah, personally, about that thing. And that was what I was telling earlier on when I was telling Auntie B about the compromise. When I was in Nigeria, at some point I was doing training of newborn resuscitation. I was part of these NGOs called non-governmental organizations, and I was going to Abuja. I was flying all over the place. We even flew to Cairo and all that. And I was just about getting a DFID job. And there was this lovely Fulani lady. She was about 42 at the time. She called me and she told me, she just said, that are you really sure you want to go this route? That she sees that the way I talk about my family, I've got a beautiful thing. She said she was divorced, she married early and all that. She said, do I think that I'm ready to be jumping from one hotel to another? Though usually the hotels we teach, we facilitate, we bring all doctors, health facility, health practitioners all together and all that. That how do you think? Do you think your husband is gonna cope with that? Your marriage is still young. Your children are young.
Mhm.
Do you want to do this full time? She told me real things. Do you know? I
That's a
thought,
wise woman.
yeah.
That's a wise
She told
woman.
me,
She's
and you
telling
know
you
what? I changed,
facts.
and then I said, okay, let me just come abroad, and let me just. That was how I derailed.
And let me tell
I
you something,
was about
Timothy.
getting. She
If a
told me the
woman
truth.
does
It
that,
was stubborn.
if you do that long term, babe, I know men who want to stray, they don't need an excuse to stray. Oh. You know, people can cheat even if you live together. There's no
Yeah.
excuse for
Yes.
cheating.
Yes.
But also, opportunity arise that make men to go out and start looking. Before you know, their single friends or divorced friends now start calling them. Let's go and hang out. Before
They
you
even
know,
said
now
about
they
my
don't see one
children.
girl
Even
for
my
them where go they
children.
rub their
She
belly,
mentioned
they
my
rub their
kids.
head. Before you
Yeah.
know,
She
now
even.
you will call him from where you are working. He's not picking your call again. You start wondering now, who is he talking to? Now so,
Yeah.
afraid,
She
don't
even
start.
made, you know, when she mentioned my kids, I was like, wow, these are their formative years. And even those times the trips would be like 3-day trip, 4-day trips. Yeah, there was money, you know. But I remember there was one of the trips I went to Lagos. By the third day, my son was having this, sometimes my kids have this allergy and, you know, they have some problems breathing, they call it viral induced wheeze, you know, and then he was breathing, and then my husband just sent me a video. I just broke down. Do you know, after that trip, I was like, you know what? I know I can do this. I know I can always come and do this later, but I think I'll put a hold on
Your
it. And then
family
I
comes
just,
first
yeah, I
sometimes,
just
yeah.
changed and I just charted
It's
another
a
course.
difficult
Yeah.
decision sometimes, but you need to
Yes.
put your family first sometimes.
And to be,
If you really care about
I'll
your
be heading
family.
off. Sorry, I had to
All
jump
right.
in. I'll be heading off. Just now.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
nice hanging out with you guys and just having a very
You've done very well.
interesting
Three
conversation.
3 hours you've done with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Bye,
much. We are
everyone.
about to
Bye.
And
we're about to end
hello,
now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Iffy. I appreciate you, my
hello,
darling. All the
Auntie
best.
B,
Eh?
Auntie B. I'm also leaving because it's 11 p.m. here.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Thank you so much,
I
Adewale.
have work. All
Oh,
right.
thank you for
Bye,
joining us. We've seen
everyone.
your faces.
Bye
Thank
bye.
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Someone has just joined us now that we are Brother Patrick is here when we are ending. Hey,
Oh,
Jenny, you're
yes,
welcome, Jenny.
hi,
Hi.
Auntie B.
Hi, where are you joining us from?
Hi, I'm joining from Texas in
You're
Dallas.
welcome. Yeah,
Thank
were you in the
you.
comment section earlier on?
I was. I have my laptop and phone going, so I have two different names because two different emails. But yes, I was in the comment section.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
First, all the panelists, you guys, your points have been amazing, amazing. Mr. Doe, please come back some more. I mean, you've for me, I was like
The
Mr.
man is
Doe
loaded with
for
wisdom, I tell
president.
you.
Seriously, it's I agree with so many viewpoints. So people have said so many different things. But I think one of the very interesting part is that was brought up in comparison to last week is as an assertive woman, you need to keep achieving. There's this I feel like it's a thread, especially we hear it in family circles. So, outside in the outside world, we interact with each other and then we have different viewpoints, but there's also the role that the family plays in the background. We've had instances where family members are like, well, when the guy sees you, if you have this, yeah, he's going to be intimidated. Most men won't want to deal with you because you're accomplished. And I would just say, honestly, that's not the man you want. That's not the man you want. Wow. If you are a woman that you first of all, you're hardworking, you pursue your dreams. It doesn't necessarily even mean that you're rude, because so many people have said so many things, and I have to say assertive women are completely misunderstood, because I believe that our assertiveness is highly paired with our drive, but at the same time there's still the compassionate side. I've met a lot of wonderful women that are high achievers and they're empaths, and they're completely misunderstood. But also pay attention to what you're hearing, just as an assertive woman, especially in your family circle. Don't let their voices just be louder. Continue to achieve, because as someone said before, it's better to cry in a Mercedes than to cry on a bicycle. And I was
That's
like,
Bill.
yep.
Bill said that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would rather cry in, my nice posh car than on, bicycle. So I mean, keep striving, keep being who you are, keep doing what you're doing, and you don't have
Never
to
change
no
who
you
you are.
yeah, and don't apologize for your success. Like if you I give example, like there's some guy that I followed on Instagram, and he was giving different business opportunities. So I was like, okay, let me look at this and check this out. So I went for it, but I'd done my own like background research and all this stuff, and then I like pedal to the metal, just keep going, and it started working. So I'm
Yeah.
here like telling my friends like, hey, check this out. This I did this, and this is how much you can bring in. I mean, I not even like to toot my horn, but I'm okay. I do well for myself
Are you an
outside of that.
assertive woman, Jenny?
I am, but I'm also quiet. So sometimes people confuse the two. Just because I'm quiet doesn't
They
mean
think,
like
yeah, they
they
always
think
assume that, and that's a misconception that if you're assertive, you have to be loud.
yes. I
You
mean,
can be quiet and you're assertive. Yeah.
yes, I have my moments when I'm like, especially when I'm excited or I'm talking about something I'm passionate about, you'll
Mm-hmm.
hear like my tone and everything changes. But by
Yeah.
nature, I'm like very steady. But
Yeah.
just because I'm steady doesn't mean you come in like you have to do it like this. I turn one eye up at you like, excuse me, who are you? I don't think so. Um, so I think like that's just I was talking about when you see an idea and you pursue it. So after pursuing it, and then I went to a gathering with some friends, and some people came from out of town. We're talking, and here we go. We're like rubbing minds. I'm like rubbing minds with elderly people, and this man was like, "Man, I have this." It was a car business. Like, I have this car just sitting here. It's souped up. I collect cars. I've poured so much into it. You've inspired me. You've given me an idea of something to do. Like I was very grateful for that conversation because I went away with some things for myself of different ideas that I've jotted down, like, all right, in the future, once I got this aligned, like I'm gonna go for this. So men, like, I've recently left a relationship where the guy was like, well, soon we get married, you have to stay home with the babies and don't worry about buying another house, like I got it from here. And I was like, I'm not going to stop climbing and stop dream, like
Why
entrepreneurship.
would they do that?
I
Why? I mean, it just assumes that he has to tell you that you need to put your dreams on hold and stop working because you're having a family. They didn't even ask you what you want to do.
no
That's a red
I
flag.
it's X. That's why it's X. That's why it's an X and not a
That's a
curve,
red, I mean,
because
the right thing to do if you're planning a family with someone is to come down, have a sit down and say, okay, how are we going to do our family? Are we going to share? We're going to work. Who's going to do part time if we have babies? What we're going to do? Are we going to have a nanny? Are we going to put the baby in daycare? I mean, how much time can you take? You don't just say, you're going to stop working. As soon as I
yes.
marry you, you're going to stop
and
working.
and unfortunately for him, this is one example where I completely disagree with Mr. Depot from last time, who said don't marry a woman who earns more than you. I have a
Mhm.
very close friend, she's Caucasian, sweetest woman, and she, before she actually went into IT, her and her husband owned a gym. So that was her dream. He helped her, they did all that. That's how we met. Then he, at the same time, he was a police officer, did special ops before, but that's his own dream. She switched and got into IT. Today she is a CFO, like chief of staff,
Exactly. So
like
she's making more than her
making
husband
way
now.
more than he. But when I
See?
say she respect,
No absolutes.
she respects him. They live in a wealthy side of town, like they're doing amazing. But there is never a time where it's like, well, it's my money, don't talk to me or anything like that.
That's a
I
healthy
really
relationship. Mhm.
I agree with Iffy. Any man that is intimidated by the size of your pocket is not the man you want, because character makes you, not your money. Like
Amen.
your value
Wow.
is in your character, not
Character
the
makes
money
you, not your
you
money.
make.
I love
Because
that.
I think I went back and I was reading the comments. There was a guy who wrote a comment say you can make a lot of money and still be a piece of hero, like piece of paper, the sheet. I was like, that was just golden. That was so
Yes.
golden.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say. I feel
Thank you
like be
so much.
confident in who you are, and you will attract the best,
Thank
and
you
don't
so much.
apologize for where you are. So
Never,
yeah,
never. Thank you. Really
thank you.
appreciate your contribution, Jenny.
Thank
Wow,
you.
well done, well done. Big Pay is about to leave, so Any final comments from Bimpe before she takes her leave?
Well, this has been a great conversation. I've learned a lot, and thanks everyone for your contribution. What I'm just gonna say is marriage is for matured mind,
It's
and
not for
there's
babies.
no, it's not for babies, and everybody should
Would
be
you quit your
what.
job if your prospective husband say, I want you to stay at home
Who
and
will
be
stay
a
at home? Do I
housewife?
look like somebody that will stay at home?
Baby, stop the talk. You don't say your market is hot now. So
No, make
stop
them
the
leave
talk.
me
Your market is
alone.
hot. So
Bimpe is
all your
something.
buyers they listen to you. All their ear open like rabbits who get
All
long
your
ear like this. They say
consumers,
they,
All
they
your
listen.
they
consumers,
say
oh my
they say this
yeah.
your market where they hot. Maybe they listen well.
Oh
Everybody that
my
know they stay at
God.
home.
Maybe they say you not be assertive woman.
Bimpe said, do I look like somebody that will stay at home? Bimpe, why are you doing like this now? You that is wife material, you don't want to stay at home?
Ah
Oh
no,
my
Mm.
you can
gosh.
have my material and not stay at home now. So,
What
but
people
anyway,
don't understand is that working is not just for money.
that's what I was about to say.
There's
Yeah,
something
there's
in
a
you
fulfillment that
that
comes
you
with
feel
it.
like you need
Yeah.
to, in
Mm-hmm.
self-actualization, you feel
Mm-hmm.
like you are contributing to society.
Yeah.
When we are filling our form, when I'm doing my
Mm-hmm.
assessment in my work and we're filling our form, there's something there. When we write the assessment, then you need to tick, is a tick box about how the impact of whatever they are going through is impacting on that. One of them is your contribution to society.
Yeah.
And this is a way that you feel fulfilled as a person when you go out in the morning, you wake up. If you don't have anywhere to go to in the morning when you wake up, do you know how useless you will feel in your life? That you just wake up, nowhere, no goals, nothing, you don't get anywhere to go. Every day. If you do it for 1 year, the person will be depressed. Someone like
Yeah.
me. When I'm dry, and even back then, I remember when I started my first job in Nigeria as a newly, NYSC or whatever, and I just started my first job 2001. If I sit in my car in the morning, I'm driving to work, there's a sense of joy that comes. I feel good that, oh, I'm doing something. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to be part of solving a problem today. It gives you the kind of joy that it gives you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Make I tell you something, Big Baby, before you go. I find women now coming to me and saying to me, Auntie B, he told me not to work. For 30 years, 25 years, we built this marriage. He provides. He's a good husband. But I feel like I've wasted my life. Because all I've done with my life is to nurture the home, look
To
after
cook
the
and
husband,
clean.
and raise my children. My
Mm-hmm.
children are grown now. I feel like I have not fulfilled my purpose. And that is why it's so powerful when Yemi was saying, your purpose is not marriage.
Amen.
Marriage is not your purpose. Your
Amen.
purpose here, marriage is here. So don't think that if I just marry, then you'll be fulfilled. No, no. So all this one say, leave job. Will you quit your job to come and marry? Brothers, please, no, I know they do like this now. This is 2022, for goodness sake. Why do you behave like this? It doesn't make sense. I'm working, and there's a reason why I'm working. It's not for money. Even if you can pay all the bills, I am not giving up my job. I will not.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does something to my self-esteem. It does something to me as a human being. It does
Mm-hmm.
something to me to build my confidence when I go out there.
Yeah.
So don't tell me to quit my job. It won't work. Anyway, assertive women, we know ourselves.
Yeah. So we
Big day.
do.
Yes, so you're not going to quit your job.
I know I won't quit my job now. What if we marry and something happen and there's no way to pay the bill? So what will happen? Me that I don't like to beg people. No, no, I'm not quitting my job. But we can always compromise and act like a reasonable adult in a marriage. I keep saying, not
Not
boyfriend and
relationship.
girlfriend, though. Not yes, yo. I'm talking about in a marriage. Don't let one boyfriend come and be telling you leave your job. No, I'm talking about husband and wife situation. All
Thank
right,
you, my
thank you,
darling.
Auntie.
I
Thank you,
appreciate you,
everyone.
love.
Bye
I'll
bye.
speak to you soon. Big base, Bio say your market, they sell now, they hot.
Yes, so
Bio, your papa
many
will
people
talk to you,
they
sabi
they
talk,
tap from our anointing.
He say market, they hot now, say market, they sell.
And to be, I'm about to leave too.
All right, sweetheart.
10
Thank you
p.m.
so much.
Thank
Semi
you so
T,
much.
you've done
Yeah.
so well. You've given us 3 hours of your time. You've done so well. Thank you so much.
Thank
My
you.
love to your husband and your family.
Thank you.
You're adorable. God bless you. I love you very
Bye.
much, my darling. Thank you for your contribution. We'll continue to push this conversation. You know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know they go
We
anywhere.
move. We
we
move.
move. We move. Thank you, love. Right. Okay. Brother Patrick is very late to the conversation, but we
I
will still
know.
entertain him because he's our elder and we respect him so much in this platform. Welcome, sir.
Auntie B, you know, I've been trying to come in. I don't know what really happened.
Yes, sir. I kept telling you to put your camera on. It's like you are not reading the comments, sir.
I did have to even run to my daughter. Can you help me with this camera? I don't know what.
Sorry, sir.
But they lost it. I'm just quickly to say that assertiveness is in the DNA of a woman. So let our men just get that into their brain. Assertiveness is in the DNA of a woman. I tell you, thank God for Brother Dawood that said something.
Oh my God, Brother Deo blessed us today.
They already preached my message, so I'm not worried. You know, every woman needs to be assertive. And you know, apart from that, you know, even women, they need some me time. Auntie B, there are times that you need your me time. Probably with your friends or yourself, you just want to have your me time. You've had enough. Yes, let my husband be on his own. Let my kids be on their own. Let me out with my friend. Let me hang out with my friend. You just have to allow her
to be her.
Yeah, and everybody have their own destiny. That's what people don't get it. If your woman is supposed to be the president of a nation, you can't stop her. Probably you guys just met to have kids and to be husband and wife. You can't stop her. So women, you know, the way women are built is different from the way men are built.
Absolutely.
And the Bible says 2 heads are better than one. So if you are being intimidated by probably the status of your woman, you are still a baby. Yes, you know, somebody came to me and called me, said they wanted to make my wife a board of a non-profit. I said, okay. So I called my wife. My wife said, no, I can't do it. I'm too busy. You can do it. And she's doing it.
Wow.
Why don't they call me?
Where did they find men like this now? Oh my yeah, where we go find men like Brother Patrick and Brother Idowu? Where we go find this men? Now they do.
And she didn't even put it on her resume when she was looking for a job. I said, why don't you put in your resume? You can put it in her resume now. Why will I be jealous? Marriage competition. You know, she has her own destiny. And that was why I pointed out that even when we were younger, some of us were intimidated in university. The medical students, this girl, medical student, no, I'm lower I'm just doing, no, I can't do. You'll be scared. Maybe she's from a rich family and the girl might even love you.
Yes.
Let's give an example. When I was growing younger as a student, my prayer was that I want to marry a doctor. But liver will not even allow me to talk to somebody.
Bro, Patrick said liver will not allow him.
I tell you, that was my mind. So I want to marry a doctor, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm matured, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I even like a woman that's assertive. Yeah, and a lot of men, they need a push by a woman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Men, they came to America, I'm sorry to say, they did further their education, and they are pushing their wife to go and do RS so they can bring money home. Kidding me? They don't really make money as a nurse. They just work long hours. My wife, she's a nurse. By the time she works 16 hours, she's tired. She's worn out.
It's not an easy job.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job.
So, like, no, you want to kill her? You are a man. If you want to get second job, go and get it.
Go get it, yeah. You are supposed to be the leader. Lead by providing more. Don't try to pull her down. You pull yourself up. I believe what Brad Patrick said about assertiveness in the DNA of every woman, because our grandmothers, everybody has grandmother, and the stories we know about them, they were assertive women.
The way women,
I don't know any grandmother that was not assertive. Those women were strong women.
The way woman will cover a man up at home. Some women, the women will be sending money to Nigeria, and they'll be saying it's the man that is sending it.
Oh yeah.
So you go to the man. the man will just be there flipping this thing every day. Flipping remote control. Watch and coming up. No, I'm serious. Yeah.
Brad Patrick says flipping remote control. Brad Patrick is challenging you. All of you that are flipping remote control, step up. Step up.
Watching Netflix. Man is working 16 hours every day. So my sister, I want like that lady said, I'd rather cry on the bench than cry on the bicycle. I want a woman.
Absolutely.
Let me run down. One of my friends was telling me she's a tax preparer. He said the lady is earning 750,000, and the husband is earning 70,000, and they are filing tax together. Look at the difference.
Just look at that.
Wow.
Say it again. How much did you say the woman is earning?
$750,000, and the husband
and they are married, and the marriage is working.
When a woman likes
That's
you,
10%, 10%. Sir Patrick, by calculation, 10%. They put the man, 10 of the man, 9 of the man, 10 of the man.
Oh my God, their marriage is working. They don't break up.
You know, let me round up. The way God molded the mind of a woman is different from the mind of a woman. Brain. When a woman is assertive, a woman could be smarter than a man, 100%. But when she falls in love, when she likes you.
Totally.
So forget about being, well, like I said in my post, marriage is meant for matured men, matured mind.
Mm-hmm. There are too many immature people
Yes.
out there. Thank you, Brad Patrick.
You.
We cannot love you less, our elder.
Thank
We appreciate you, Brad Patrick. You are an amazing person. And you see, men like Brad Patrick, men like our brother Ido, and a man like Bio, their marriage go they rock solid. You go they rock solid.
Don't forget Adewale.
Yes, Adewale and all the brothers here and Lola and Ola, because they confident in themselves. I remember what Jenny said. It's about character, not about your bank account. It's about your character. Oh my God. In fact, I won't talk again. I don't get anything to talk right though. If you want to say something, say something. In fact, I've heard it. Unmute yourself, sir.
It is a privilege to be part of the forum, and we just like to encourage men, because when the earth is standing, the whole body will be okay. So, and we cannot take the responsibility away from the men. So they both stop with the men. So every house to stand, that man in the house must be standing. So when you love, you see, women are incubator. Whatever you give them, they multiply.
Amen.
You see? So
Wow.
if you give
when
them,
we talk that you finish dropping the nugget, you say another one again. You sweet my belly. Women are incubator. Whatever you give us, we will multiply it.
Yeah.
We'll multiply it and we'll give you back. If you give us yama yama, we'll go give you plenty yama yama.
So if you give them peace, of course, you will be the one that enjoy it most. So this is where men must stand up to their responsibility. And they shouldn't be threatened by someone but naturally, when women chose you, they chose you. They didn't choose you because of what you have. They chose you because they want
of who you are, your person, and the way you treat them.
That's all. They don't ask for much. You see, for like Brother Patrick said, my wife is a nurse, and whenever she comes, I have to massage her leg, and I'll be saying,
does it too. Patrick does it too.
I say, what is the point of you doing this job?
This machine, mommy, I can't and somebody that was a birthday present.
You see?
Yeah.
I said, what is the point of you doing this job? Because every day you don't even enjoy yourself. And
Because there's a lot of standing.
it's a
Nursing is
lot
not an
of
easy job.
standing.
Yeah.
How can you be standing for that
Respect
hour?
nurses, oh. That
You
job no
know.
easy.
So, and I said to her, I said, look, this is what men like. They all like. He said that marriage is for mature men. You know, if you are not mature, there's no need to go into it because it will break you. You know, it doesn't matter how strong you are, it will have to humble you.
How does she feel when you massage her feet when she comes back from a long shift?
She always look forward to it. You see,
You
and
chai.
she
Oh, you see this guy love. Oh,
Man,
this
where
guy
Sabi? We
love.
go learn, we go learn, we
Man,
go
where's
learn, we go learn.
Sabi?
In fact, open your marriage class, me we come. Oh, Jana,
He said
Brother
she's looking
Patrick go
forward to
do
her feet being, you know,
romance 101.
I can just imagine it. Right, oh, you are sitting, your wife will come tired from a long shift, and she's, lying in the couch, and you have her leg on your lap, and you are massaging it.
I just
because
That
you
woman,
know,
tell me why she will not hand her salary to you, say, Daddy, do whatever you want with it. Tell me why she
and
will not do it.
I
and you know, in the house, I'm the cook as well.
I just
I
finished
cook
cooking
for
now.
them. So everything you want, I'm not going to ask her to let her wait. Let her ask me first. I will know before she comes. I will say, baby, what do you want to eat?
Oh,
So, because
oh.
if I'm not at home, she will do the same.
Women
Hi.
And
identify, Mona they identify. Men
Hi.
when Sabi
you know,
cook, they are lovely
Man,
men.
where's
Oh, we don't
Sabi?
dey see
Nigerian
them
men,
now.
they
It's
love him
becoming a
back.
trend. Oh,
Jesus.
see, women in
because
this forum, Mona they identify now.
I
Men
normally
where they
said
cook, it be like
they
say they
said
be they are the more caring. Oh,
you see they said in Yoruba now they say Olobe lo loko. This time is Olobe lo laya. You see,
Wow.
so that's the way, and that is why I say marriage is a service.
And she loves and
So
respects you. She doesn't
that's it
disrespect you.
at
You feel like you
all.
are respected in your home.
And I don't even need to work at it. It's
Hey.
natural.
Hey,
You see,
oh,
because
hey,
when
man,
something is
we have to have a master class, oh, bridal, you cannot go. Take my number. You have to come back.
No,
No,
but
no,
I
no,
don't,
no, no.
but I don't need to be coming back every time.
No, you
I
have to. I've
beg,
never
Please,
seen
please
Brother
come
before.
back.
This is the
I
first time. This will
beg,
not be the last
please,
time, Brother. Please take my WhatsApp. We
please.
need
We
men
need
like
to
you
hear from
to
you
talk.
every time.
We need men like
Please.
you to
Please.
teach other men what it means to be a husband. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí
and
Ọlọ́run.
that's
Take my
very
WhatsApp
important.
number.
I will, sister. I will, because it is when men are men enough, men listen to other men. Even what I will say and you will say better, they will not listen to you, but they will listen to other men. And the reason being, you have to lead by example. You cannot be hypocrite. Say something and do something else. It doesn't work. And the same thing I live with my son. I normally say to him, you listen to me because you see the way I treat your mother. You cannot come and treat a girl the way or anyhow, and you
What did I
expect
say?
me,
Sheba Tokan.
right?
What did I say? That
So
is raising healthy children who will make healthy wives
you see,
and husband in the future. It's easy to know who raised you. Yeah, you always talk about your papa for this platform. Every time you mention your father, the way your father and your mother raised you in love, it's easy to know.
so and I always say to my girl, I said, look, don't settle for less, okay? Because you see the way I treat your mom. If a guy come and you want to be doing yamayama, don't settle for it. Don't be a wife before you married, okay? So if you want you to be his wife, tell him to put ring first. Never be a wife, okay, before you get married. And they will say, how? I said, look, even when I did date your mom, she never allowed me, okay? Because I know what I want. Whatever she say, I said, okay. But here I am. I enjoy the benefit. She's enjoying the benefit. This is a mutual understanding, mutual respect. And as long as you want to serve one another, there will be no issue. So,
Thank
but
you.
men have to get it that marriage is not a competition, it's a service. to one another. That way, people will live in peace.
Thank
You know.
you. Thank you so much. We bless this day that you joined us, brother Ido, brother
thank,
Patrick,
thank
brother
you.
Ola, brother Bio, brother Adewale. Thank you so much, brother Ido. You are an amazing person. I mean, we've learned so much from you tonight. Please come back again. And because we need men like you, because if only us as talking, we'd be like, oh, these women, you talk too much, you're always bashing men. Some of the things you say, if I say them here, they will say, you are bashing men. You are bashing men. I'm telling you, if I was not married, what do you mean, battery?
Sister
I
B,
would have seen my bow on this
let,
platform.
let me say this.
Obodoyibo,
Let,
quality dey Obodoyibo.
let
You
me
talk na timber and caliber.
know every man should understand their wife love language.
Yes.
Some women is just service.
Yeah.
When she's tired, she's gonna hand over the baton to you. She doesn't have to say it twice. Yes. Some is just, praising them, helping them and praising them.
Compliments. Giving them compliments. Yeah.
Some men will eat, they will not say anything. They will rather complain. Yes. A woman that has been there, doing everything possible, taking care of the kids, making good food. Some men will come back from work, they will just be mad. They will bring the work to us.
The stress, they bring it home. Yeah.
Yeah, they
That
bring
happens
it
a lot.
home.
Yeah.
If the kid, when the kids are younger, there's wahala, there's trouble. Yes. And women multitask. And
Yeah.
that they are women being, they are tired.
Yeah.
They need somebody to help them as well. Even though both of you work. And even though she's a still mother, it's a lot. They take the kids to park, take care of them. The kids are running around. She has herself to take care of. She has to take care of the home. And when the man comes, you need to understand your wife love language. What can
So my wife normally say, I normally ask, women like money, and she will say no, they don't like money. The only is if women like money, most men will not get married. They will not say because not all of you are Dangote or Tedola. So if you think it is money that women want, think again. And you say it's true. Ask what they want. And what they want is simple. Just love them. That's it. And they don't want more than that. So like that woman that is earning more and the husband is earning 10% of her earning. So you can tell it's not about money. It's about love. And that's it. So if men can get that, you will see there will be no competition. And
thank you.
Women, like you said, they will give everything because once they love, they love. You see?
Thank you so much, my brother. Really appreciate you. Yes, Bill, we want to end now. Final submission from you. Then I go to Omoye. Then, no, you, Jenny, and Omoye. Omoye and I always end together. We have a history.
All right. Thank you.
Please cut out Brother Idowu's comments, the brother's comments. Please cut it out,
Chai,
Mr. B.
I
And
don't know what
don't
to
do it as
say,
a
brother.
video.
They don't. In fact,
Please.
I don't know what to say. I
Hi,
don't know what
thank
to
you
say.
so much, Brother
Brother
Idowu.
Idowu has just,
I
in
doff my
fact,
cap, my hair. I doff it for you.
You speaking our language, you understand women so much. Wow. Bill, oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brother Do. Well spoken. Thank you, Brother Patrick. Um, this is just my final submission to my fellow men out there and also women out there too as well. The reality of life is you can never know one's destiny until the last day when we leave this world. So, say for instance, if you are scared of a successful woman, the fact that you marry a woman today from nothing doesn't mean she can't be something tomorrow.
Amen.
And you, as a man, the fact that you are something today, it's only God that has power. It doesn't mean that you are going to be like that all throughout the marriage. So, therefore, if you are scared of a woman that is a progressive or high achieving woman, that means you are scared of your own very future. Because what then happens, like Sister Jenny gave an example, the lady who left the gymming business and went dived into IT might not have even expected so much, but turned out that she was not any higher. She might not be that ambitious, but somehow favor located her.
Yes.
So are you telling me that if you marry a woman, even though she didn't go to school, for instance, she just decided to start selling ordinary bossers, and Nike now gave that woman contract to supply bossers of $20 million, then therefore the marriage has come to an end because you are not happy that she is a successful woman? Is that what you're telling me? So please open your mind. Open your mind, be very open, and don't think negative, because negative things attract, you know what I mean? So please,
Negative. Yeah.
yeah. So when you think that if this women that are this are that, most times the things you think, I used to say one time that, oh, everybody from my family is marrying this particular tribe. I don't have a problem with them, but I said, me, I'm going to break the yoke. But at the end of the day, I find out that people from that tribe are always coming to me. So what am I saying here? Do not say never. Do not be close-minded. Leave it
Never say
open.
never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never say never.
Yeah.
And lesson well learned today, brother Ido. I learned your romantic skills. So me too.
You're taking
Uh,
notes. You're
yes, I'm
taking
taking note
notes.
too. So I would now know how to massage very well. So, but for the cookie area, I forget that one. Me and you go kitchen, I go beat you. No shaking. In fact, try as you follow Auntie B. Auntie B is going to send you my Instagram so that you can see the lesson.
Bio can cook.
Some
Nothing
cooking
Bio no dey
skills
cook.
from there. You
Bio can
understand?
cook.
Make we can enter competition then.
Yeah, no shaking. I did with you, bros. No shaking. So,
Thank you.
Brother Patrick, thank you very much. Very good to see your face again.
Yeah.
It's been a while. More they connect now. I was in Atlanta weekend, but we'll go talk that one for corner.
Yes.
No shaking.
Thank you so much,
All
Brother
right,
Bio.
take
Thank you,
care.
Brother
Love you all.
Ido. Thank
Yeah,
you
take
very
care.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, have a good
bye.
evening.
Yeah,
Brother
bye.
Patrick, yeah. Jenny, I'm coming to you. We are rounding up now.
Okay. Hi, Auntie B. Hey, everybody. So many great, 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 awesome points. I think I'm going to replay this one like over and over.
Yes.
One thing Brother Patrick said that I think is also very important when he was talking about learning to speak your wife's language. I'm not married, but learning to speak your wife's love language. I feel like that's one of the problems I see in relationships is we're trying to speak. We're not necessarily learning the other person and learning to speak their love language. We're trying to receive love the way we receive love. And we might be two different. One person might be acts of service. Another person might be physical touch or gift giving, and we're just clashing because no one's taking the time to, okay, you like this, and then at the same time in the back of your mind, this is your friend, this is your partner, like this is the person you love, so you should want to be kind to them, you should want to shower them with your affection, your time, like give them your 100% and not halfway. So taking the time to really learn each other, I feel like there's no perfection, but there's a smoothness that can be achieved when you're both like you've learned each other so much, you're paying attention, and you can just sometimes I hear couples that have been married for a long time say they can just look across the room and they see their partner and they know what they need. Those are people who have taken the time to really learn who they are. Another thing I wanted to say finally, based off of what Brother Bio said, I think your success in life, or whatever you deem as success, or you being able to achieve your goals and your dream, will never outweigh your mindset. So if you are a brother who is like like Bio gave the example of the wife who maybe she gets a Nike contract and is now 20 million. If your self-esteem is not, like, you're not able to catch up, you're going to actually create problems for your relationship. And honestly, I think that it's not necessarily a bad thing to recognize that you have an insecurity, but it's even worse when you recognize and you do nothing about it. and you hide in fear, and then you use, you know, your ego to like buff up, like, oh, I'm this, and you have this grandiosity, or like grandeur, way you think about yourself, instead of humility. It's because I see it like, when sometimes life throws things at us, so we may increase or decrease, or let's say you're at the top of the world like Job, and then you lose everything. Your mentality and your mindset and your heart, and if you're a believer, your faith, is that's what's going to carry you through.
Amen.
Not just, you know, you can't be very superficial about life. It won't. I don't like superficial relationships. They fit in a certain category of like acquaintances. Maybe we can get together and hang and do, you know, crazy sports or whatever. But in terms of close circle, that depth is necessary. And if this is someone you're living with for the rest of the time God gives you on earth, depth is required. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. You dropped so many nuggets. You see, I pinned one of them, and you say your success in life will never outweigh your mindset. Thank you so much, Janie.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate your contribution, darling. Have a good
Thank you,
afternoon
NTV.
over
Thank you,
there.
everybody.
Love you very
Bye.
much. Thank
Love
you.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Brother Ido. Please take my number before you go so that I can invite you for an exclusive one-on-one interview. For you to do a life coach season, we need to be coaching people. Please, this is my WhatsApp. Take my
Okay.
WhatsApp number. Really appreciate you, my brother. God
Thank
bless you.
you
Brother
very
Patrick,
much.
final comment from you before we round up with Omoye's corner, sir.
Let me quickly just use the word you use. You know, being assertive is the mindset. You know, before I moved down to America, I was a pastor in Nigeria. And you know, when I started dating my wife, can you believe in the church? People rumored that Olofeomolowo, that I went to marry the daughter of a,
In the church.
that I went to marry the daughter of a rich woman from a rich family. So people's mind have been conditioned to, you know, to marry. When they are poor, your generation will become poor. You have to marry.
Poverty is some people have poverty of the spirit, brother Patrick.
Yeah.
Their
So
poverty is of the spirit, yeah.
that
And
was,
they never say anything good because they are so poor in spirits.
yeah, that was the main shock I had back in Nigeria then. I was able
Thank you so much.
was a lot of war in the church. Thank
Yeah.
God commit fornication, whatever. But that was what people were saying. Yeah, he went to go and marry the daughter of a rich. Meanwhile, my wife is a graduate. I'm a graduate, so she likes me. And you know, I was a teacher. She was even a manager in a car company. So she was a marketing manager. I was not intimidated. I liked her, and I went for her, and everything worked out. But people were saying people were against. I was like, are you kidding me? So, you know, it's the mindset. And God will deliver us as in Jesus.
Amen. And you are still standing today. You are happy and your
Yes,
marriage is thriving. We
yes,
give God the glory. Thank you so much, Brother Patrick.
yes.
Really appreciate you, sir. God bless you. Oh, yes, Connor. We are rounding up. Yes.
Yes, what an awesome session. You know what happened? I had started my own the dating in diaspora thing, right? So
Yes.
and they're like, Sister B is on, Sister B is on. We spent a couple of minutes and so everybody, we all had to shut down.
Oh my
Right?
God, you did that?
And yeah, we shut down and then we rescheduled for 3 p.m. today. So we're still going to do it. So right after this show, I'm getting on mine to do the
Okay.
matchmaking thing.
Okay.
So I want to say I'm so glad that because we had this conversation, it's been full of so much wisdom and so much. It's hopeful. I feel very and I'm sure a lot of other people are very hopeful just being on this channel, listening to especially the guys share their own perspective on how they see these things. Because, you know, if you keep hearing people who have alternate ways of thinking and believing that they have to control, you begin to think maybe there's no reason, maybe there's no hope. But just hearing Brother Idowu, for instance, of course, Brother Patrick always bringing it on all the time, Bio, Adewale, and all of that. It's very refreshing to know because I grew up in a home like that. So sometimes it's like confusion for me when I meet guys who don't understand this and everything is all about money for them. and it boggles my mind because I know for a fact that character is more important than how much money you have in your account. It's not how much.
Amen.
It's not about, I have money, I can get any woman. Yeah, you can get any woman, but you might not get the right type of person for you because you need a woman to challenge you and move so that your life can move forward. But
You know
that's
what a pastor said? A pastor on Instagram, on YouTube said, 5 of the most richest men in the world are divorced. So if money was it all, why are they divorced?
thank you.
The
That's
richest men, 5 of them,
yes,
all of them
yes,
divorced. So how
yes,
much you get? When they do kitty kitty, they do kitty. You get money reach
exactly.
Bill Gates. You get money reach Elon Musk. Abi you get money reach the other one where break the other day. How much you
Exactly.
get? How much you
A
get?
lot of them get issues. They almost don't marry how many times? Get many children all over everywhere.
If money was the answer to every problem in marriage, they would have stayed in
They
marriage.
would have stayed and be crying inside the
Meaning that
Maserati.
Gates would not have left Bill
Exactly.
Gates if money was everything that makes
Exactly.
a marriage work. Yeah, money is very
Exactly.
important. So we are not
No, of
denying
course.
that. Yeah, money brings a level of comfort in your life, whether you are single or married. But what we are saying is
Exactly.
that beyond your bank account, women are looking for your character and your ability to love them the way they want to be loved.
Exactly. So that's what I'm gonna say. And please, brother Idowu, come back. I beg. I beg, we will beg you, we will drag Sister Bill and say, Sister Bill, where's brother Idowu?
Where's
We
what I
will
do?
ask for you until you come back. Please, we need more of this, your wisdom. Sister Bill,
Yes.
thanks for putting this together. I'm glad I did not miss it because this is going to be essential on my own channel too. Since we're
Yes.
transiting there. But thank you so much. Thank you, brother Patrick, for always showing up and all the wisdom. I really appreciate it. Bio, not show up, not come do yeah for my channel. Thank you so much, Sister B.
What did they do over there now?
No
Be a
man,
like
you
be
be
a
on
like
top
to
of
joke.
there saying come find plenty too. I say see, people come and drag her for comment section. Say Bio, no be you we see you with woman that day. Now Bio say the food never done now. Come on. He brought the comedy. It was fun. It was fun to have him.
He likes to make fun. He always bring the humor in, and so we love him.
Exactly.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
So I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it. Thank
everyone.
you so
Thank
much.
you
I
very much.
appreciate it. Love you,
Thank you so
Sister
much.
B.
Love you
Thank
too,
you.
sweetie. Thank you, Brother
Thank you.
Patrick. Thank you, Brother Ido. We really appreciate you. Your wife is a lucky woman, and you are a lucky man. Thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution tonight. Guys, if you've enjoyed this conversation, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't thumb this video up, it means that you don't like what you've learned today. I'm sure both brothers and sisters have learned quite a lot today about healthy relationship from our brothers here. Thank you so much, everyone, for all that you've done. I appreciate you. Thank you to all my panelists. Thank you, everyone. Ola, Adewale, Iffy, and everyone else that was present tonight. I appreciate you very, very much. Uzo, thank you so much for being here tonight. Timothy, always love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. And yes, on Tuesday I have that story. That one about the one that went to look for illiterate in Nigeria to marry. Small girl illiterate because he thinks, like we said, he's looking for somebody that he can control, somebody that is a small girl that doesn't know anything. But my people, the whole thing don't backfire now. So I'm going to share the story with you guys on Tuesday. So make it a date with me Tuesday night. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Please give video a thumbs up. If you are joining us later and you are watching this on playback, please like the video, subscribe, and please do not leave any negative comments. I do block and delete people who leave negative comments. We are all here. It's all about learning here for us. We are here to share, wisdom. We are here to share knowledge. We are here to learn from one another. And I have learned so much tonight. Thank you all so much. I'll see you on Tuesday night over the farm. Have a good week ahead. I love you very much. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye.